can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Junior Achievement of Wisconsin has had business technology from James Imaging Systems for several years. Lori Salzman, Vice President of Enterprise Services, explains why.
We started with the document imaging, and I have to say that the service and support has been fantastic.
James Imaging Systems, a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed business technology company.
I've never met an organization that is so responsive to make sure that we are up and running all the time for us to be more efficient and allow us to focus more on the work that we do for helping young people.
Lori, what's your recommendation to others that aren't getting that kind of attention from their business technology company?
Please call James Imaging because they will work with you to make sure that you find a solution that can make you more efficient and productive.
Make the call, 262-781-7700, or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Debbie Loziga here for Kohler Services. If you've been putting off your bath or shower remodel, now's the time to turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. This month only, get $1,000 off your Luckstone shower remodel and no payment financing until 2026. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Traffic is sponsored by the all-new Burghardt Sporting Goods.
The all-new Burghardt Sporting Goods, the Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center in New Berlin and Fox Point.
Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
I'm John Mercure. Your top story, investigating a death at the Milwaukee County Jail.
I'm Julia Fellow, leaving interest rates unchanged.
I'm Debbie Loziga. We do have a crash on the ramp from 175 southbound to westbound 94 in the Stadium interchange. They haven't quite closed any lanes off yet, but they may, so just heads up. On southbound 43, we also have some debris in the right lane right at Highland Avenue, so that's going to be slowing things down basically from about Locust down to through the Marquette, technically, and onto the high rise. The northbound side slowing down from Fond du Lac Avenue up to Keith. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Painting Time Saver Traffic.
A wind advisory goes into effect at 7 o'clock tonight and runs for 12 hours for all of southeast Wisconsin. Tonight, rain to snow, breezy up to 2 inches for most of us, a little more north and west, a low of 29 degrees. Tomorrow, early morning snow, a high of 41. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, an investigation is underway into the death of an inmate at the Milwaukee County Jail. The 49-year-old Shorewood man had been in custody since Friday. A nurse found him having a health crisis Monday night. He was taken to 2 different hospitals but died yesterday. The Waukesha County Sheriff's Department is leading the investigation.
Decision Wisconsin, 2 candidates for Wisconsin's open state Supreme Court seat fielding questions on WTMJ's Political Power Hour.
Among those questions, how each candidate can stay beholden to law and order when donations to campaigns have already set judicial election records and could approach $100 million by April 1st. Waukesha County Judge Brad Schimmel.
It doesn't matter whether you are someone who supported my opponent or someone who supported me. You get the same standard in my court.
Dane County Judge Susan Crawford.
I've told anyone who is interested in my race that I welcome their support, but they have to know that they're supporting a fair, impartial judge.
Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
In Madison, a bill that would undo an overhaul of how Wisconsin measures academic achievement has been sent to Governor Evers' desk.
There are 18 ayes, 14 noes, and the bill is concurred in.
The bill would require the State Department of Public Instruction to overhaul its state report cards to match how they measured academic achievement before changes were made last year. It's unclear whether Governor Evers will sign the legislation. He has criticized the process State Superintendent Dr. Jill Underly took to change the report cards.
More homes are needed in the Milwaukee area than ever to move to Wisconsin. The regional manager for First Weber, Abby Hogg, tells WTMJ's Upswing.
Our demand is incredibly high. Our listings were up just a smidge, 0.4% for the month of February. But as we go into March, we're going to anticipate and we expect to continue to see that inventory now rise.
She says every 2 months or 2 years or so, they're only becoming available.
The Federal Reserve has decided to keep interest rates the same for now. Fed Chair Jerome Powell says despite the uncertainty caused by tariffs, the economy is still in a good place.
Given where we are, we think our policy is in a good place to react to what comes, and we think that the right thing to do is to wait here for greater clarity about what the economy is doing.
Analysts expect the Fed to change rates at some point later this year.
Coming up, going from the ugliest animal to sitting pretty.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time 3:04.
If you're trying to find really good, high-end, distinctive furniture, the kind they just don't make anymore, then come to Design Exchange. But you better get here quickly, because the best furniture we take in on consignment doesn't usually last long. It may be vintage, it may have once been out of your range, but now you'll find it's priced right. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value.
Design Exchange.
In Heartland, you're going to find a focus on distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original artwork, along with tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. In Pewaukee, the focus is on kitchen, outdoor, and garden decor, and all of it is priced at 25 to 40% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value.
Design Exchange.
This is Jeff Johnson.
And I'm Jason Johnson.
And together, we're part of Johnson & Sons Paving.
Get your parking lot ready now for spring and avoid paying for extra repairs later on.
We'll come out to your property and walk it with you.
Potholes, damaged asphalt, damaged concrete, standing water, you name it. We'll talk to you about your options and fix it.
Plan a budget, set up an overall schedule with Johnson & Sons Paving.
It's all about doing it right the first time. Call us today to schedule a walkthrough and free estimate.
JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
Your European experts at Fox World Travel are ramping up and busy as ever. With the trending spring and summer European travel season, Fox European experts mean you can maximize your time soaking up the warm weather, blooming flowers, and vibrant landscapes without worrying about your travel or missing a moment. Port hop along the Mediterranean with Viking or Princess, or design your own bucket list adventure with Insight Vacations. Visit us online or call 866-GO-FOX-GO. Your European immersion awaits.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time 3:06.
An unlikely prize for a homely sea creature.
A decade after it was named world's ugliest animal, the blobfish is sitting pretty. The boneless marine creature looks like a messy lump of jelly. When it's above the surface of the water and decompresses, it's fair game for memes, with two baggy eyes, a droopy overhang for a nose, and a purpley red clown mouth. But the look apparently has its appeal. The blobfish has just won the Fish of the Year title in a contest by New Zealand's Mountains to Sea Conservation Trust. Second place went to the orange ruffy. Both are considered vulnerable species because of deep sea trawling. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. The Bucks have dropped 5 of 7 in an offensive funk. The 5-game Western Conference road trip continues tomorrow night against the Lakers. And the Packers are signing 27-year-old veteran wide receiver Merkel Hardeman to a 1-year contract, according to ESPN. Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time 3:07. Tax tips are brought to you by the Neal Group. For less stress with the IRS, visit nealgroup.net. That's NEAL Group.net for a free consultation. It is the Neal Group.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at the Neal Group. There are 5 filing statuses you can use when preparing your return: single, married filing jointly, married filing separately, head of household, and qualifying surviving spouse. Filing status is determined on December 31st of the tax filing year. Each case should be examined to determine the most appropriate status within the tax law. Often, couples in the middle of a divorce believe that they should file 2 returns, but that is not always the case. If the divorce is not final on December 31st, you are still considered married. But there may be a situation where married filing separately makes sense, even if filing jointly gives a lower tax amount. Head of household can be a confusing status. Two unmarried adults living in the same home may each be able to claim head of household on their returns in certain circumstances. Tax preparers will get the best results for you when asking all of the right questions. For more information on this tip and other tax tips, go to neilgroup.net or stop in and see us.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA and founder of the Neal Group. Happy New Year. How's business? Do you really know? We recently worked with several clients who thought they knew, but they didn't because their books were not in order. Imagine thinking you were making $1 million, but because your books are a mess, you were really only making $200,000. Quite a difference. Imagine finding out expenses were not recorded properly or sales were double recorded. If these happen to you, we can help. We work with our clients to clean up their books and give them the information they need to know where their business is now and where it is going in the future. Don't wait. Start on the path to less stress, more cash in your pocket, and no more sleepless nights. Call us at 414-325-2040 or visit neilgroup.net today to book a meeting. We can talk over Zoom, the phone, in our office, or your place of business. Yes, we like to visit our business clients. Don't wait any longer. Call 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
All right, we made it to Wednesday.
Yes.
Happy Wednesday. Hope you're having a good day. I ran out for lunch, and what a
rainy,
crappy day.
I know. Another round's supposed to come later. There'll be snow.
Yeah, but not too much snow. It's gonna be okay. A little more north and west of us, but it's gonna be gone the next couple of days because it's so warm out. All right, let's get to what we're covering today.
This is the 3 at 3 on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
Let's start with snow. Wisconsin City is among the 10 snowiest in the country, according to the Weather Channel. This is what they did. They analyzed 30-year average snowfall levels in hundreds of towns. Every town had to have at least 1,000 people to be eligible to be on the list. They analyzed all the data, and they found that Hurley, Wisconsin, in the northwest part of the state, Hurley, Wisconsin, comes in at number 8 in the entire country. And if you live in Wisconsin, you know that they do get a lot of snow up there. They hold many of the records. The average snowiest month is in Hurley. The record snowiest day ever is in Hurley. They got 20 inches
Is
in
that
one
by
day.
Lake Superior?
It's a little bit south of there, but kind of in that part of the state.
Wow.
So the snowiest places in the U.S., what are they? So Hurley, as we mentioned, is number 8. Tella Alta, West Virginia is number 7. Lead, South Dakota is number 6. Marquette, Michigan in the UP is number 5. Crested Butte, Colorado is number 4. Truckee, California is the 3rd snowiest place. Number 2 is Sherman, New York, and by a landslide, or maybe we should say an avalanche, Valdez, Alaska.
Okay.
325 inches of snow a year.
Oh, wow.
That is a lot of snow.
All right, number 2. You know this song? Well, the band Semisonic does not want it used by the president's team. This song is being played over video of a man being deported. You can see him in cuffs and shackles. The post on the official White House account on X, it says, "You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here." Customs and Border Patrol are tagged, and they retweeted it saying it's closing time. We are making America safe again. As you watch the clip of men climbing in the aircraft, it says, "I know who I want to take me home," is heard from the song. The band took to X saying, "We did not authorize this or condone the White House use of this song." They have missed the point entirely on the joy and meaning of possibilities and hope with this song.
By the way, this happens to every politician, but Trump has the longest list I read of any group of any politician who's had bands say they don't want him to do their stuff.
Mhm.
There's like 25 bands and artists that have said stop using my song.
Elton John
at
loves
different
it.
points. Elton
Man.
John's on the list that's asked Trump to stop using his music.
Really?
Yeah. Elton John, Guns N' Roses, Celine Dion, Phil Collins, John Fogerty, Beyonce, Aerosmith, Foo Fighters, Rihanna, Rolling Stones, The White Stripes, Pharrell Williams, Neil Young, Prince, Sinead O'Connor's estate, Tom Petty's estate. It's quite a list. Hey, the third thing, Julia, is Frontier Airlines is now going to stop charging for bags, trying to tap into some of that Southwest Airlines deal. They typically charge almost $100 per bag. They put out a press release that says some airlines have changed going after Southwest. They've raised fees, taken away perks, and made travel feel like a one-sided relationship. Go for a airline divorce Fly with Frontier, your bags will fly free.
I might fly with Frontier now.
Ugh,
Seriously.
I would never, ever. I
Really?
just wouldn't. Yeah. Oh, my gosh. I think it's like, no.
Would you ever fly Spirit?
Never. Never, never, never. Have you flown either of those?
Frontier, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I have
fine.
not. By the way, they're launching the bag offer on the same day that Southwest begins charging for bags.
Wow. Burn.
Oh, here we go.
3:13 up next. What one Milwaukee area woman did not expect to happen after reviewing a West Dallas business, why it's led to a full-blown lawsuit. That's next.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 3:13.
Whatever you want to call this season, we're over it. Time to look forward to
Fly ball, right field. It is deep. It is gone!
spring training is finally here and back on the radio.
Free look, high drive, deep right, way back. Noel's going to be a spectator on that one.
Make sure to catch our next spring training broadcast as the Brewers take on the Diamondbacks Friday night at 8. No matter the season, we are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning, they're quite simply the absolute best in the business. Better water makes a big difference. They know that at Guthrie and Fry. I've got their water softener at my house. I've got their RO system. Means that the water coming into my house is filtered. It was easy for them to install. It's really affordable. And I have crisp, clean, clear water thanks to Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning. Quality products and services at a fair price from a local company you can trust. I trust them in my home. They are the best. They will take care of your water and do it right every single day. Southeast Wisconsin's number one choice. My choice is Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning.
Your current car, soon to be your old car. A new car, better start looking. But you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with free credit score and score monitoring on most new consumer checking accounts. Because when you know you need to make a big purchase, knowing your credit score puts you in the driver's seat. You've got this with free credit monitor from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Wherever you are in Wisconsin, there's a free and confidential Aging and Disability Resource Center, ADRC, or Tribal Partner Agency. We're here for older adults, adults with disabilities, and your families. ADRCs are a bridge to support for benefits and financial assistance, transportation, in-home care, and more. Get to know your local ADRC and connect with resources today. Call toll-free 1-844-WIS-ADRC or go to findmyadrc.org. Paid for by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
This report sponsored by Exterior Pros and Baths. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation. Ready to tackle your home improvement project this spring? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. Visit extpros.com today.
Traffic and weather, Debbie Laziga, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, John. Northbound 43, we do have delays coming out of the Fond du Lac Avenue area all the way up to Keith, but the southbound side has some debris in the right lane right about at Highland Avenue. That's something to keep in mind if you're going to be heading through there. We've got more delays than beyond that all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. Other than that, we've got a broken down vehicle eastbound 94 right about at 68th Street off on the left shoulder, so it's kind of in a weirder spot. Southbound 41 slowing down just south of Appleton Avenue all the way down past Hampton. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast tonight, rain, snow, a couple of inches by us, more snow north and west, and a weather advisory will actually go into effect beginning at 7 o'clock. Tomorrow, a little bit of snow early, a high of 41. On Friday, isolated showers late, a high of 54. On Saturday, cloudy, cooler, a high of only 38 on Saturday. Sunday, a sloppy mix, a high of 42 degrees. It's currently 38.
3:17 on WTMJ. I filled out a lot of reviews online. Have you ever done that?
Yeah, I have. I like to do it too.
When there's good news,
Yep.
for sure. Well, one customer just did about a West Dallas business and claims in a lawsuit she was defamed with allegations that include falsely accusing her of sexual assault. The customer said she went to the bar, called the drunk uncle 2 weekends ago, and took to Google to say that she felt uncomfortable with the owner and staff. So in her review, she wrote on Google Review, quote, "The bartender leaned over the bar and touched my face, asking me to make him a sandwich for International Women's Day." She said that she felt completely disrespected. The owner is accused in the suit of responding to a Google review with a comment that read, "You are a fat nerd with no friends." It is not over. She accuses the owner of doxing her by finding out where she worked, then posting on her workplace's Facebook page that she sexually assaulted one of her employees, which is not true. The post reads, quote, "This employee sexually assaulted a bartender last night while drunk. Absolutely disgusting. Stay far away from this place." The suit goes on to say that the women had to meet with her bosses and explained, hey, this never happened. Take a look at this Google review. It's going back and forth. So now, a bad Google review has turned into this big lawsuit full of claims that include revenge by falsely accusing someone of assault. And the West Dallas Common Council just last night voted to not renew this bar's liquor license. The reason cited is because the license for the bar, they failed to submit proof of a seller's permit. So the city attorney says it was revoked by the state. So they already have their license revoked by the state. So now they don't have their bar license.
Oh, they're going to have to rename the place, maybe Sober Uncle.
There you go.
No bar license. Ugh.
Up next, another court case making headlines. A man accused of branding women, holding them against their will, forcing them to sign contracts, hand over their IDs, wear collars, and more. Details right after this.
The Wisconsin Afternoon News broadcast is sponsored by lots of people. The podcast by one of the best in the business. Dave Drakamp Heating, our sponsor for our podcast. Your comfort is their family's tradition. Dave Drakamp Heating.
Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, Kohler Services and Outdoor Living Unlimited. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Life is sweeter with better hearing. I know that firsthand. My hearing wasn't great for a very long time and kind of ignored it, right? Michelle would always say, like, why can't you hear me? Why do you say, huh, all the time? Well, I went to Vita finally, got it checked out. They did my hearing. Michelle went with me. She was there for the test. They've changed my life. That sounds, I know, like a lot, but they have. I hear better. What's better than that? Vita Hearing Care, locally family-owned, locations in Mount Pleasant and Waterford. They make it easy. Cynthia and Jeff are the best. VitaHearingCare.com to learn more. That's Vita, V-I-T-A, hearingcare.com. Check it out. They'll give you a better life.
You wake up feeling like you just boxed 12 rounds. Some wake up sweating with sore jaws, headaches, and a lot of our patients complain of brain fog. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula, and these signs, often joined with snoring, are sleep apnea symptoms. And if this sounds like you may have been in a struggle last night between you and this serious disorder. Many people aren't willing to fight back. But the fact is, you can't go through these nightly struggles without ramifications that each night chip away at your life's expiration date. I get it. You don't want to wear a CPAP mask. You may find out you don't need one. We have every effective sleep apnea solution available. And believe me, the mask is the last resort.
It's time to take action to stop your sleep struggle. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Do you have a written financial plan? Hi, I'm Aaron Kowal of Kowal Investment Group. We have recently joined Creative Planning, a national registered investment advisor. This move allows us to provide more comprehensive wealth management services to help with all aspects of your finances, including your investments, taxes, estate plan, and more. At Creative Planning, we understand life is busy, and sometimes important things like retirement planning can fall to the wayside. So I'm here to remind you to take time to plan. A 1-hour complimentary consultation with our fiduciary advisors will help you get started on the path to your dream retirement. We will review your current financial situation, your goals and needs, and help you plan for life's what-ifs. Don't delay planning for your future any longer. And even if you already have a plan, a second opinion from our advisors can help determine if there are adjustments to make. Kowal Investment Group is now Creative Planning. Visit creativeplanning.com to get started. That's creativeplanning.com.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News on WTMJ.
3:23 on WTMJ. Happy Wednesday. I wanted to get you up to date about this case inside a Milwaukee home near 31st and State. Police say it has a sex dungeon in the basement women being held against their will. And the reports are that the person charged is a 38-year-old, and he's the homeowner. Austin Chronister. Prosecutors lay out the accusations. They have him facing a lot of charges that could put him behind bars for more than 100 years. Court records show the abuse dates back 7 years, accusing him of luring women online. So that's how they say he did it. Lied to them that he's into BDSM. And then once they get there, they find out later that most sex acts are not consensual. As I was reading the evidence that prosecutors lay out, I audibly screamed, "Oh my goodness," several times. So here it is. He lived with up to 4 women at one time, and at least 2 came forward to police saying what happened in the home was a crime. And this is why he's facing these charges. So they say that Chronister requires the women to sign a contract as soon as they arrive. It's full of lewd requests like sex on demand, and they're required to wear a collar at all times while in the house, which reads House of Pierre.
Oh, my gosh.
So that's what he nicknamed the house.
Wow.
3 stories. The criminal complaint says Chronister requires the women to be branded with a, quote, slave tattoo of a beetle holding a poppy flower, and each victim has, quote, a slave number. Prosecutors say the victims then learned they are not allowed to say no to sex parties with the suspect's friends and family, and the search warrant revealed there are security cameras peppered throughout the entire interior of this house. The search warrant also talks about the contents investigators were looking for in the basement, which was called a sex dungeon, and the details are too graphic to share. I just told John one of them.
Wow, that's disgusting.
Yes, it is. The search warrant also talks about the contents investigators were looking for. It includes, I can't say that one either, so I'm going to skip that. Okay, sorry. I thought I deleted that. So what if a woman refused to do any of this?
Right.
The search warrant lays out what the victims say is Chronister's signature move of choking them. One victim says she would be choked until she said, "I love you" to him. What may be the hardest to hear is that one of the victims actually walked into District 3 police headquarters 5 years ago with Milwaukee police and told a detective all of what I just said, adding that if she disobeyed, he threatened he would inject her with a substance that would be lethal. And she told the officer at one point that when she stood up after an argument, he jabbed her with a needle in her right arm and exclaimed, "I win."
That's terrifying.
She was okay.
Oh,
but
my gosh.
it took until last year before investigators really got going with at least 2 women living in the home saying they have been beaten. They're ready to come forward to say they were raped, held against their will. So who is this suspect, Austin Chronister? Outside the home, he is a licensed real estate agent, but he's now behind bars at last check at $75,000.
That is a terrifying
I know.
story.
It's so graphic, John.
It's so awful. And it's awful when someone has the courage to come forward and then nothing happens.
I know.
So then it sounds like then that one who came forward a couple of years ago must have went back to the home.
And I guess.
Oh, that's terrifying.
And could have prevented more women from being victimized. The latest was a 19-year-old that was married that wanted to live with him, which sparked another argument, and then some of these ladies to come forward. So, and the search warrant says there's cameras. So you know what that means, what police were searching for, the video.
Yep.
So he faces more than 100 years behind bars.
His bond's not high enough. I mean,
$75,000.
So usually you have to post 10% of that, I think, in Wisconsin, right? So that's $7,500 he'd have to come up with, and he'd be able to be out free.
Yeah,
If the allegations are true, he's a monster.
I know.
Ugh.
So I hope these women get better. Traffic, weather, and all of your top stories are next, plus where you can soon stream at home an incredible Brewers documentary.
First, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Everything in the green big time today. Fed holds the rate steady, does see slower growth and higher inflation. The Dow was up 383 points. That's almost 1%. The NASDAQ up 246. That's almost 1.5%. The S&P today climbed 60 points. That's also more than 1%. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
According to the Census Bureau, more than 12,000 Americans are turning 65 each day. It's a surge they call Peak 65, the highest number in history. 65 is traditional retirement age because it matches up with Medicare, but Gallup found 61 is the average retirement age. Some Annex clients retire early, but we also have clients working at 70 because they love what they do. You know why? Because they've got plans built by fee-only fiduciaries, plans custom-tailored to their lifestyle. They identify their wants and needs clients, and we went to work building investment, retirement, tax, and estate plans in their best interest. Proper retirement planning doesn't start the week before you retire. Having a focused plan built by our in-house teams will go a long way in helping you reach the retirement you desire. It all starts with the conversation you probably already have in the back of your mind. It's time to put that into action and contact Annex. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Visit AnnexWealth.com and click the Get Started button.
Are you over 18 years old, over 280 pounds, and interested in participating in a clinical research study? If so, you may be eligible to participate in a research study involving MRI scanning. You may qualify to participate if you are 18 years of age or older and not employed by GE Healthcare, are able to hear and understand English, are over 280 pounds, are not pregnant, do not have any tattoos or permanent makeup, have no implants with the exception of permanent orthodontic retainers and breast implants. Pierre O'Godden is a principal investigator for the study being held at 3200 North Grandview Boulevard in Waukesha. Study scans are investigational, and the use of these devices has not been cleared by the FDA. The study is not being performed for diagnostic purposes and is not intended to replace your medical care. Your appointment will last up to 4 hours, and for your time and travel to GE Healthcare in Waukesha, you'll be offered a gift card valued at $80 per appointment at GE Healthcare's MRI facility. To learn more, please call GE Healthcare at 262-312-7855. Again, that's 262-312-7855.
I'm Brett Matschke, and you're due for service.
Richlands. Richlands Tire and Service Centers. 5 locations and all easy to find. Visit richlands.com when you're due for service.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 3:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, the Supreme Court candidates share their thoughts.
I'm Julia Fellow. A popular chain closing a host of locations.
I'm Debbie Laziga, northbound 43, backing up from Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe. Pretty typical stuff, though. We got the southbound side now starting to slow down from just before Center Street all the way down through the Marquette and onto the high-rise bridge. Right about at Highland, by the way. Remember, we do... actually, no, that got cleared up with some debris at Highland, but now it's gone. But we do have a crash at Fond du Lac Avenue. That one is off on the shoulder. They may have to close off some lanes, though. Eastbound 94, just a bit heavy from about 68th Street all the way to Holly Road. Westbound side is backed up from 35th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Combining the wind and snow triggered a winter weather advisory for Ozaukee, Sheboygan, and Fond du Lac and Dodge County starting at 7 tonight. Rain expected to turn into snow. We could see up to 2 inches and more totals further north. The low will be 29 degrees.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Decision Wisconsin, the 2 judges running for Wisconsin Supreme Court gave their thoughts on the U.S. Supreme Court's Dobbs decision on WTMJ's Political Power Hour. Dane County Judge Susan Crawford.
I disagree with it strenuously. I think it is the first time ever that the United States Supreme Court has thrown out a precedent that a nearly 50-year-old precedent with Roe versus Wade that recognized constitutional rights.
Waukesha County Judge Brad Schimmel.
That's a decision of the United States Supreme Court. It's not for me to support or deny. It is the law of the land. It's for me to follow the law of the land.
Schimmel supported leaving in place Wisconsin's 1849 law banning abortion without exceptions.
A bill that would undo an overhaul of how Wisconsin measures academic achievement has been sent to Governor Evers' desk. It would require the State Department of Public Instruction to overhaul its state report cards to match how much they measured academic achievement before the changes were made last year. While it's unclear whether Evers will sign this legislation, he has criticized the process that State Superintendent Jill Underly took to change the report cards.
In national news, the Federal Reserve held its benchmark interest rate steady today. Now investors are looking for further clues on the direction of monetary policy and the state of the economy.
The Federal Reserve still may cut rates twice this year, and it expects the economy to grow more slowly this year and next than it did 3 months ago. Fed Chair Jerome Powell.
At today's meeting, the committee decided to maintain the target range for the federal funds rate at 4.25% to 4.5%.
Economists have warned that the Trump administration's aggressive trade policies, including steep tariffs on Canada and Mexico scheduled to take effect next month, could boost inflation and weigh on economic activity. Matt Piper, CBS News.
The Pentagon speaking out about a webpage honoring women and people of color vanishing, then reappearing today.
The Pentagon speaking out about web pages honoring women and people of color vanishing and then reappearing. I'm Allison Keys.
A popular chain is closing down a host of stores. CBS's Matt Piper.
Dollar General is closing nearly 100 stores nationwide. It's also closing 45 of its Pop Shelf home decor stores. Despite that, the company says it still plans to open 725 stores this year. The chain of discount stores from Dollar General to DG Market, DGX, and Pop Shelf expects to have nearly 21,000 locations by the end of the year. The chain is not saying which store locations are closing.
According to the company's latest earnings report, net sales for the quarter increased to $10 billion.
With the end of March quickly approaching, warmer temperatures in April and May will certainly bring seasonal allergies to many. Aurora Healthcare immunologist and allergist Dr. Monica Youssef tells WTMJ's The Upswing.
So you could have itchy, watery eyes, a stuffy nose, runny nose, itchy nose, postnasal drip, the fluid going down the back of your throat. For some, it can trigger asthma symptoms like cough, wheeze, shortness of breath, and chest tightness.
Dr. Youssef says the best way to prevent getting allergies is to keep windows and doors closed and take a shower every day.
Leaders from the Great Lakes cruise industry are in Milwaukee this week, highlighting the upcoming season.
More than 22,000 people are expected to cruise the Great Lakes this year.
When you think of the Great Lakes, you don't think of cruising, but man, it's really taken off in the last few years.
Yes, it has. Dan Hartman is a member of Cruise the Great Lakes. He knows more passengers and more port visits means more shoreside spending in cities like Milwaukee.
Just to give you context, last year there were 700 port visits in the Great Lakes system. And so if you look at it in the whole, that's like $230 million economic impact.
Wow. Jessica Ty, WTMJ News.
Peggy Williams-Smith, the president and CEO of Visit Milwaukee, will join us with the local impact numbers coming up at 4:15.
Time for a WTMJ Sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Your Milwaukee Bucks have dropped 5 out of the last 7 games and are in offensive funk, according to the head coach, Doc Rivers. 5-game Western Conference road trip continues tomorrow against the Lakers. The Brewers are on field against the White Sox in Arizona. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 3:35.
Save big money now at Menards. Transform your space with Window Images light filtering cordless cellular shades. Its energy-efficient design traps air, making your rooms cooler in the summer and warmer in the winter. The soft fabric filters light for the perfect combination of function and fashion. And they can be trimmed to it for free in-store. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
John Mercure here for Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sit Means Sit is the best. I went to Sit Means Sit long before I ever sat in this chair and read these ads. I needed my dogs to behave better. I was frustrated. I met up with Matt and his teams at Sit Means Sit. They've got multiple locations. We started with a free consultation. He met the dogs. We met Matt. It was a good match. And now our dogs are better dogs. They're better behaved. My house is more under control. It's just the way to go. It's Sit Means Sit Dog Training. I trust them. You can trust them too. Get in there. You can get that free consultation. That's how they roll. And then you can have a happy, confident, obedient dog. I love these guys because they've taught me how to be a much better dog owner. It's Sit Means Sit Dog Training.
Amazon Business offers smart business buying solutions so you can spend more time growing your business and less time doing the admin. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
The 1-2 pitch, ball lined to out, it's short. He throws, it's over. The Brewers have won the American League pennant. Milwaukee, you have a World Series.
Oh my gosh, what a magical season that was. 1982. It's all captured in an incredible documentary. This is one of the best things I've seen in a very long time. It's Just a Bit Outside, and they're breaking some big news today. One of the guys in charge of the project, the director, Sean Hanisch, is with us on the hotline. Sean, good afternoon. What's the big news?
Well, John, you know what? It just came out, and I'm thrilled to be announcing it here. We are going to be streaming Just a Bit Outside on the Roku channel.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
That's great.
When does that start?
It starts April 11th, and it's exclusively on Roku from the 11th of April until the 30th of June. And the best part is, it's free.
Oh, I like that. That's absolutely free.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, Roku's been a great partner. We're really excited to be with them. They're getting into the sports game heavily, and they really believe in the film and, telling a great story about the Milwaukee Brewers, which is, it's everything we'd want it to be. So we're just so happy everybody can see the movie, like everywhere. North America, the UK, Mexico.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's going to be everywhere.
Yeah, there are worldwide fans.
Yeah,
That's
there are
amazing.
for sure.
That's so fun. Can you talk about what I hear is the moment of the parade, just how that was just an incredible moment in your documentary?
I mean, it's, in many ways, the film isn't what it is without that parade, because it was such an outpouring of love. And it was kind of like, everything that the team gave to us, to the fans, to the city, to the community, we were able to give back to them. I mean, it was, as you've seen in the movie, for Robin Yount, it was the worst day of his life, losing that seventh game. And for him to feel, and all those guys, after coming off such a heartbreaking loss, to come back to so much love and care. I mean, unexpected and beautiful, really.
Hey, Sean, what is it about this team that just seems to resonate? I know we haven't gotten back to a World Series, but it seems it's more than that. Is it the men that were on the team? Is it the time we lived in? What made this team so special?
Well, I do think we had a very, very special group of characters that reflected, really reflected the identity of people in the city. But I mean, the other thing is, they used to hang out with fans in the parking lot and have a beer after games. You could see them out at the local bars. It's not like it is today, I mean, you're not going to go out and go to the corner bar and hang out with Yelly. I mean, I'd love to go out to the corner bar and hang out with Yelly, but that's not the day and age we live in. So you were able to see the guys, and they were, you'd have conversations with them. You really, really felt like you got to know them. And I think that bond still lasts for those of us who were there, and now hopefully people that see the movie, that lasts to today.
Sean, this is a great way to celebrate Bob Uecker. He's throughout the film. We're going to miss Uecker here on WTMJ. We certainly miss him, but he's going to be remembered by the Brewers. Can you talk about the role that Ueck played in that 82 season and in the film?
Well, first of all, it's such a difficult loss for all of us. He was such a big, big, big part of our community and reflected the city. As good of an ambassador for the city of Milwaukee and the state of Wisconsin as there ever is or ever will be. What he did, he meant to the team was he was part of the team. He was like the 26th player. He talks about how he would go out and throw batting practice every day. He'd throw to Molitor, Yount, and Cooper, fully dressed. And then he'd go, shower in the locker room and go up and do the game. So he was literally, even the last year, he tells a story about how he got shoes from the guys, like their shoes, and it says "one of us." And he's always, for the 50+ years, he was always he was a member of the team. I mean, they gave Uecker playoff shares. Like, who gives your broadcaster playoff shares? And he would always donate it to charity. I mean, that's how much he meant to 82, but it's also how much he meant to 78 and how much he meant to 2024.
Hey, quickly, I wanted you to hit on also, this was also a very good baseball team. We talk about the characters, we talk about the love story that this is to Milwaukee, but there were a bunch of Hall of Famers on this baseball team.
Well, John, there were actually 7 Hall of Famers if you include Bob Uecker and Bud Selig. 7. I don't know that that's been I'd have to go back and look. I think that's got to be tied, at least, if not the record. Because you have these amazing players. Obviously, the best Brewer ever. You had Robin. We had Paul Molitor. We had Ted Simmons, Hall of Famer, Raleigh Fingers, and Don Sutton. I mean, what an incredible group of baseball talent to be playing, in one city on one team at the same time. We were so lucky.
How long did it take for you to put this documentary together?
It took 4 years. So,
wow.
Yeah, we came up, Kelly and I started talking about it it was actually during COVID in 2020. And as you guys know, we came out theatrically last September.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was a 4-year process. We traveled all over the country to interview, 15 different players. And, it turns out making a documentary takes a little longer than you think, but we're so pleased that people like the film. They came out to see it in theaters, and we're hoping people now can watch it again and again on Roku.
It's a great film. It's a love story to the city of Milwaukee, even if you're not a huge Brewers fan. This is incredible stuff. It's Just a Bit Outside, streaming coming up here in a couple of weeks on America's #1 TV streaming platform, which is Roku. It is free beginning on April 11th. What a great gift to all of us. Sean Hanisch, the director of Just a Bit Outside. Sean, thank you so much for making some time for us.
Thank you so much, you guys. I really appreciate it.
It is 3:43 at WTMJ. Harley makes some interesting news this week. They come out and they're unveiling their most expensive motorcycle ever. Wait until you hear how much this bad boy costs. And they drop the price on their cheapest model.
Yeah.
All that coming up next on WTMJ.
If you missed this,
can you talk about how often officers are ending up at schools and how difficult those situations are?
3,100 calls a school year. It was about 17 calls a day.
Or this.
Handpicking the press pool. What are your thoughts on that?
I have many, as you might imagine. I've been in the press pool covering the White House, the greatest privilege of my repertorial life.
Catch up on the Wisconsin's Afternoon News podcast at WTMJ.com, presented by Dave Draycamp Heating.
Hi, I'm Jim Token, president of the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee. Did you know that Adam members employ more than 7,500 people? Plus, Adam recently completed their 14th annual Feeding America Change Your Oil promotion. To date, Adam has donated over $875,000, which provided over 2.6 million meals. Start your next car search by finding an Adam member dealer at adam.com. That's ADAMM.com.
John Mercure here for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Boy, you can accomplish a lot in 6 years. In 6 years, you can accomplish a lot. Yeah, I mean, think about it. Go from your little one changing diapers to dropping the kid off at school. College, you can get a bachelor's and a master's degree all in 6 years. And check this out, greatest of all, you can take up to 6 years to pay off your brand new Pella Windows and Doors at 0% interest. 6 years, 0% interest. Shut the front Pella door. That's incredible. That's amazing. Plus, you get the Pella experience. You get all of it. Quality control. Pella manufactures, sells, installs, and services every product. 10-year labor warranty is always included, so your windows and doors are secure for years to come. I'm a Pella guy. Pella stuff's coming to my house coming up in just a couple of weeks. And their installers are available year-round. You can install in as little as a day. And if something ever goes wrong, Gina Della's teams will handle it ASAP because you work with the same team from start to finish. So don't wait. Right now, 0% interest for up to 6 years. You understand that correctly. You get your stuff, you pay nothing for 6 years, and it's 0% interest. On brand new Pella windows and doors, certain restrictions apply, ends the end of the month. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com. It's Pella.
Debbie Loziga here for Kohler Services. If you've been putting off your bath or shower remodel, now's the time to turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. This month only, get $1,000 off your Luckstone shower remodel and no payment financing until 2026. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
When you work at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, you'll be helping us help others. There are many that need our help, and we need your help to carry out our mission. St. Vincent de Paul is always looking for part-time team members. You'll get competitive pay, benefits, and flexibility in scheduling. So apply online at svdpmilw.org or stop by Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, or 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul. Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex.com.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to Rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Traffic and then weather. Debbie Loziga, how are the roads?
Well, looks like we've got an issue. The ramp from 94 southbound to the airport spur, all of the lanes are blocked because of some debris. I'm not exactly sure what the debris is, but if you are going to be heading to the airport, just be extra careful. Might need to find a different way to get in, like maybe getting off a little bit earlier and using maybe 13th Street or Howell Avenue to get to the airport. I'll let you know when it gets reopened, but it's just that ramp. The main line is okay to go through. Southbound 43 backing up from Keefe down all the way through the Marquette over the high-rise bridge. The northbound side slowing down basically from just north of Fond du Lac Avenue, where there is a crash actually on the southbound side, and all the way up towards the Keefe area. Westbound 94 backing up from 18th Street all the way to Hawley Road. The eastbound side slowing right through the Stadium interchange. I'm Debbie Lazigo with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Here's your forecast. Tonight it's going to be sloppy. A couple of inches of snow, even more to the north and west, a low of 29 degrees. Tomorrow, snow early in the day, a high of 41. Friday, an isolated shower, a high of 54. Saturday, partly cloudy, a high of 38. Sunday, a sloppy mix, a high of 42 degrees. It's currently 37. Little transportation news for you. Governor Tony Evers' budget proposal. He wants to raise what it costs if you buy a car to get your vehicle title transferred 70%. He wants it to go from $165 to $285.
What?
This is only when you buy a car, and it's usually rolled into the cost, so you don't even notice, but you're going to be paying a lot more if you buy your car. Here's the other one. Title registration fees, the driver's license renewal, okay? That's when you get the new sticker for your car every year. He wants to raise that 35%.
Come on.
Now, the numbers go from $24, that's what we pay now, to $32.50. That's more than 35%. To be fair, this will still be much lower than our neighboring states.
Oh, Illinois is over the top.
So let's
Don't
go back
even
to that
compare.
first title registration fee. Remember, I just said that will go up to $285. In Illinois, that's like $900.
Jesus.
In Michigan, it's $600. So we're still going to be way below. But Republicans are going to say it doesn't matter what the neighboring states are. We need to keep our own house in check, and so they won't go along for it, and it's pretty much dead on arrival. The governor says we need the money to take care of our roads.
What do you think about it?
I think no. Here, you know what I think about it? We have a $4 billion surplus. We have a $4 billion pot of cash sitting in the bank right now that we can't decide in Madison what to do with. If you need more money for transportation, how about we use some of that? $4 billion.
I hope we're putting that for the time being into some type of like account where we can make
earning money. Yeah, I hope so too. All right, still on the transportation topic. Harley Davidson, and our producer Brandon is a Harley owner. He just got a new Harley. As a matter of fact, text the word watch, text the word watch, right? WATCH, and you can see a picture of Brandon's new Harley.
Oh.
This is stunning. It's a beautiful bike. Brandon, can you tell us what that cost, or is your wife listening and you don't want to give that information out on the radio?
No. Per our conversation from a couple months ago, we don't share money, so I know that caught you a little bit by surprise. So I did not tell her exactly how much it cost, so if she's listening, I do love you, honey. But that was, I had my old bike. I traded it in. It had no miles on it. It was fresh off the crate from Harley. 2025 Road Glide. This out the door was $34,000.
Whoa. That's a lot of money. Now, it's less than a car, but you can't drive this thing the whole year.
Less than a car?
Yeah, correct. It's more than some car, but
I think it's just about as much as my car.
Yeah, it's up there.
You have a nice car. You couldn't get the car you're driving right now. You could not get for $35,000.
Yeah, now it probably went up a lot.
I did not believe that.
Probably.
You have a nice car.
I swear.
Yeah, but how many years ago did you buy it?
Last year.
Okay, I bet you. Don't you think?
Oh wait, no, the year before. It's
You
a
have a nice
24,
car.
but I got it in 23.
All right, Brandon. So what do you think of this? Harley Davidson this year unveiled. So Denise, the wife, settled down a little bit because at least Brandon didn't do this. Harley rolled out a motorcycle, I think it was last week maybe, that goes for $110,000. A motorcycle for $110,000. That seems to me
This better go
outrageous. That's so much money.
Did you see who was test riding it?
No.
At Daytona? Keanu Reeves, the actor.
Ooh.
Sick.
He's a big Harley guy, and he was on it. And the thing is, if I had the money, absolutely would do it. I know those payments would be a lot different than the one that I currently have. But that thing is one of the coolest bikes I think I've ever seen. That a manufacturer has rolled out for consumer purchase, like not a custom bike or anything,
Right.
but just a off-the-shelf stock bike. You know, that's obviously not stock to Harley, but whew, man, that thing is pretty sweet.
131. They're just making 131 of them. So it's limited, but
Yeah.
you're right. You can order one and you can get one. That's a lot of money. Okay. So this comes now a few days after that, they announced that they're lowering the price on their already cheapest motorcycle. So the cheapest bike that they sell is called the Nightster. Nightster.
Correct, yep.
You can buy it in Billiard Gray starting at $9,999.
Oh.
So that's under 10 grand. That's $1,200 less than last year.
That's palatable.
Yeah, it's definitely more manageable. But that to me also still seems like a lot.
Really?
I mean, you can't even ride this thing when it's raining, snowing, or
That's
during
my
the winter.
problem. That's my problem.
And the Nightster, Brandon, looks like it's a one-person bike.
It definitely is. You could have two on there. I'll say this, having ridden that bike before, it's probably one of the more fun bikes to ride. It's really fun.
It looks fun. Look
Especially
at this,
if you live like downtown or if you're commuting, through downtown, like getting in and out of traffic.
Oh
It's
my
a lot
gosh,
of fun.
That's way better looking.
It's cool. It looks like fun.
It's pretty cool.
I'm showing Julie
That's
the
only
Nightster.
$10,000?
And it's a
Wow.
lighter bike, so you're not, it can kind of fit a lot of different consumers. So they're who they're trying to reach, Harley, that is. I think that's a really good starting point for a lot of people.
That's a good point because that's what they say. They say they're trying to expand their fan base, trying to get people to enter into the Harley market, make it more palatable. How often does Denise ride with you? Your wife's beautiful. I bet she looks great on the back
She
of a
does.
bike.
I try getting her on all the time. It's quite a bit in the summer. We go to the festivals. Harley has their homecoming. We go to the concerts. We go out to dinner sometimes on a Friday or Saturday evening.
That's fun. And you hop on the bike?
And we go on the bike, leave the kids at home. But the thing is that we have, as you guys know, we have 5 kids. So every single one of the kids loves to get on the bike. So it's trying to delegate who's riding when. Usually it turns into a fight, and then it turns into, all right, I'm going by myself.
You got to get that little side carriage thing.
Oh, yeah.
I want one of those for my dogs. Yeah, a little sidecar. Yeah, with the goggles on the our golden retriever. I think she would
On
get a
both
kick out
sides,
of
and
it.
you can do two kids.
The double sidecar.
Yeah.
Then you could have one on the back, so 4 of you could go for a ride.
Quick story, and before we get to the top of the hour, I took the bike that I just bought that you're seeing on the YouTube stream Saturday. I made the mistake. I don't remember if you know how windy it was.
Yeah.
Over the home bridge, because I was at the
Oh.
museum and I was going south because I live in Oak Creek, Caledonia area. I wasn't sure if I was going to make it. It was the windiest ride I've ever had.
Really?
It was pretty scary. So
That
I'm
was a wind advisory day.
glad to be here talking through the microphone and showing you the bike, but we almost didn't make it.
That'd be terrible if you had to lay down that
I
brand
know.
new bike on the top of the horn.
And I just got it Saturday. I left the dealership with it Saturday.
Wow. So what do you owe Denise in exchange for her letting you buy this bike?
Unconditional love and folding laundry, doing laundry.
Okay, that's good.
The dishes.
You got 5 kids.
Look at those
you're
beauty
busy all
shots
the time.
he took. He loves this bike.
I do love it.
Text the word watch.
Her nickname is Pearl because the paint is, you can't see it in the picture. It's not really, it doesn't show, but it sparkles. It has like gold flakes in the paint, so it sparkles in the sun.
I would call her Sparkles then.
Oh.
It's a little weird.
That sounds like a clown. It's like a clown name. Have you ever been on a Harley?
No. Mm-mm.
I have only once, and it made me nervous because I've never been a motorcycle guy, but it was cool. It was pretty cool.
I've never been on any motorcycle before.
Yeah. But you would go into space.
Yes. I trust space more than riding a motorcycle in Milwaukee.
I mean, that's a good point. There are some bad
or
drivers
anywhere
out there.
for that matter, yeah.
Yeah, it's true. It is 3:56 at WTMJ.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
The city of Port Washington is moving forward with the annexation of more than 38 acres from the town of Port Washington for a subdivision with 97 single-family homes. Pewaukee-based Newman Construction proposed the development that will have price points starting in the upper $400,000. There is a new owner for the Andrew Toyota and Andrew Chevrolet car dealerships in Milwaukee. Umansky Automotive Group of Memphis, Tennessee, closed on the acquisition of the dealerships on February 28th, but didn't disclose the transaction price for the business. Finally, the Agency Cocktail Lounge in downtown Milwaukee is a semi-finalist for the James Beard Awards for Best New Bar. It's located in the historic Double Dutch Hotel on Marshall Street. I'm Drew Dawson from MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Hi, folks.
This is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. With spring in the air, a young man's fancy turns to ceiling fans. And at BBC, he'll see all the best quality fans and their newest styles. The new fan electronics provide a great method of moving air, and with LED lights, they use less electricity than ever. We have fans in all sizes, from 24 to 96 inches wide, and their motors are warranted for life. At BBC, we advise you on the right fan for your needs, and our prices are the lowest. I guarantee it. We're open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and on Saturday 10 to 4 and located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue across from Sobelman's and Bachman Furniture, all near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
John Mercure here for Griffin Ford in Waukesha. My Ford Explorer, my white Ford Explorer. I absolutely love it. It's the best car I've ever got. As a matter of fact, when I got the one from Griffin, I liked it so much that we bought a second one for down in South Carolina. I love my Ford Explorer. They've got the best selection, and they've got it all right now. That F-Series truck, like the F-150, they've got 50 of those in stock. All the trim packages, all the colors, all the stuff. It's Griffin Ford. I recently had to have some recall work done on my vehicle, and guess what? I thought I was going to have to take it in, and I didn't have to. They rolled out to my place with a mobile repair guy. He came, the car was in the driveway, took care of it right there, fixed it up. It's Griffin. That's just how they roll. Right now at Griffin Ford, for just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires, free tire repair, lifetime tire rotation, cannot be combined with any other tire offers. Tires must be mounted, balanced, and installed at Griffin Ford. It's $1 over cost for brand new tires. They've got the best service. They've got the best selection. It's because the guy who runs it is the best. Jim Griffin is the bomb. That sounded very old, didn't it? He's the bomb diggity. Thank you, Julia. It is Jim Griffin. Check it out today.
My name is Debbie, and I work at Layton Terrace. I love working here. Being a helper is awesome. I can make a difference. This job and living independent boost my emotions. I love my life.
Live life to the fullest with Thinkability Wisconsin, a resource hub that supports people with disabilities throughout their lives. Connect with a real-time navigator at thinkabilitywi.org.
Amazon Business offers smart business buying solutions, so you can spend more time growing your business and less time doing the admin. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Built Right, one location saves you money.
You gotta get to Built Right today.
Breaking news as it happens. Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 4 o'clock. I'm John Mercure. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Your top story, investigating an inmate's death.
I'm Julia Fellow, ousted over politics.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, still dealing with an accident southbound 43, right about at Fond du Lac Avenue. They may have to close off a lane. Tow truck is on the scene, though, but it is definitely slow from Capitol all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. Northbound slowing down out of the Marquette up to Keefe. Westbound 94, you're slowing from about 20th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's backed up from 68th Street all the way to about 35th. We do still have that off-ramp from southbound 94 to the airport spur. All lanes blocked because of the debris on that ramp. So just be extra careful if you're heading through there. If you do have to head to the airport, you might want to get off like maybe at Layton or something earlier than that and head over to Howell Avenue to try and get into the airport that way. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Wind advisory in effect at 7 o'clock for all of southeast Wisconsin. Winds could hit 45 miles an hour. Some rain and snow tonight. Less than 2 inches for the metro, a little more north and west, a low of 29. Tomorrow, breezy with a high of 41. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Decision Wisconsin, 2 judges running for Wisconsin Supreme Court step up to the microphone on WTMJ's Political Power Hour. Dane County Judge Susan Crawford on the U.S. Supreme Court's Dobbs decision.
I disagree with it strenuously. I think it is the first time ever that the United States Supreme Court has thrown out a precedent that, and a nearly 50-year-old precedent with Roe versus Wade, that recognized constitutional rights.
Waukesha County Judge Brad Schimmel.
That's a decision of the United States Supreme Court. It's not for me to support or deny. It is the law of the land. It's for me to follow the law of the land.
Schimmel does support leaving in place Wisconsin's 1849 law banning abortion without exceptions.
An investigation underway into the death of an inmate at the Milwaukee County Jail. We're told he's a 49-year-old man from Shorewood in custody since last Friday. A nurse found him having a health crisis Monday. He was taken to 2 different hospitals and died yesterday. The Waukesha Sheriff's Department now leading the investigation.
As the demand for homes grow in a market that's not building at the pace that is needed, more people are relying on rent. Regional manager Southeast and Northeast Wisconsin for First Weber, Abby Hauk, tells WTMJ's The Upswing more adults are turning to rentals.
That demand pushing the supply and the pricing up is pushing people into renting a lot more. However, I think apartment complexes know that. So rent prices are skyrocketing as well.
Yeah.
And it's easy to build them. Easier to build those than condo complexes and single family. So we're seeing a lot of them go up because they know they can get the demand for it.
Hauk says with such a demand for homes, it becomes harder for realtors to find affordable housing for clients.
And the Fed voted to keep the interest rates where they are for now. The Fed Chair Jerome Powell said that while inflation is under control, they have opted to take more a wait-and-see approach.
Some near-term measures of inflation expectations have recently moved up. We see this in both market and survey-based measures, and survey respondents, both consumers and businesses, are mentioning tariffs as a driving factor.
And they said that could be the possibility for a short-term rise in prices later this year because of the tariff policies.
Ice cream maker Ben & Jerry's claims the company's CEO is fired over politics.
Ben & Jerry's says its parent company, Unilever, unlawfully fired its CEO over disputes involving the brand's social mission and taking a stance on polarizing political issues. The ice cream brand is known for its outspoken views on human rights and the environment, and in a complaint says the dismissal of David Stever violates a merger agreement which prevents his removal as CEO. The agreement from the year 2000 says that can only happen after a consultation with an advisory committee. Stever has been with the company for 34 years, starting as a tour guide. He was fired March 3rd. Matt Piper, CBS News.
Coming up, a reunion 7 years in the making.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 4:04.
In 1964, we were making strides towards space travel.
Mary Poppins was the #1 movie in theaters.
And the Beatles were taking America by storm.
Which was long before I was born.
Facts. 1964 is also the year it all started for Richlands Tire and Service Centers. 60 years of continuous growth and more happy customers than you can shake a stick at.
Okay, the streamers are a bit overkill. It's just us in the studio.
All right. But it's important to know accomplishments like these aren't possible without a dedicated team. So hats off to them and our founder, my dad, Dick Mitschke, for understanding the importance of customer focus.
Facts. There's no 60 years of anything without you, the customer, which is why our focus will remain on you and only you for years to come.
Thank you from all of us here at Richlands Tire and Service Centers.
Richlands Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlands.
Leading a nonprofit takes just the right mix of skills, experience, and passion. It is not easy to find those people. But Spano Pratt can help. They specialize in executive recruiting within the nonprofit world. From candidate discovery to assessment and selection, all the way to onboarding and executive coaching. The team at Spano Pratt is full of experts who identify talent that align with your purpose and mission. Go to SpanoPratt.com to start your search.
As clutch of a player to ever play basketball.
It's game time on Season 4 of Behind the Bucks on Bucks Plus.
This year I was like, I need to impose myself more on this team.
Explore Damian Lillard's journey to becoming a top 75 player in NBA history.
That's what really had me feeling like this is going to be great.
Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker, and H&R Benefits Consultant. Find Bucks Plus on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 4:07.
A woman reunited with her cat after years.
The woman in Ontario says she had given up hope her cat Julio would ever be found, even after she posted notices about him all over town. But last weekend, when someone brought a stray cat into the local animal shelter, staff members scanned it and found it had been microchipped. Up popped the contact information for Julio's owner, and they reached out to her with the good news. The woman says Julio is settling in nicely back at home, cuddling and listening to relaxing music. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Bucks have dropped 5 of their last 7. A 5-game Western Conference road trip continues tomorrow night against the Lakers, and the Packers are reportedly signing 27-year-old veteran wide receiver Mecole Hardman to a 1-year contract.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time approaching 4:08.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
In Heartland, you're going to find a focus on distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original artwork, along with tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. In Pewaukee, the focus is on kitchen, outdoor, and garden decor, and all of it is priced at 25 to 40% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value.
Design Exchange.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
Hey, so glad that you're with us. All right, he is the host of the Tori Lowe Show on 101.7 The Truth. From 1 to 4, a huge leader in our community, standing up for victims' families for years. Tori Lowe. Hey, there's no safe level of lead in the human body. City Health Department positively identifying the source from some children that have been lead poisoned to Milwaukee Public Schools like Trowbridge. Now we've learned the EPA is involved. The feds are here.
Hey, look, they got to look through it. This is not the first time that there's been this type of conversation going on. But this is the first time that I've seen the Federal Environmental Agency involved. And so I think that they're now here because they got to get to the bottom of what's really happening. And we can't have children being exposed to lead. And I think that this time around, I think the last time we had this type of attention, they were not quick to call it a crisis. But now you see in the headlines, Milwaukee Public School lead crisis. And that means that they have to get to the bottom of it. And I think that many times when we talk about lead in the community, not only is it in the schools, at one point, a couple years ago, we were making noise about it. It was in the daycares, it's in the lead laterals coming through that's attached to the house. And I think that a lot of people raised a lot of noise about it, but it died down. But now we have these recent incidents of children being affected in a negative way, and we cannot have that.
Tori, it seems like every day, almost literally, there's another school that gets added to the list.
Yes.
We're testing at another school. We're sending kids home and we're testing the kids or somewhere else temporarily. Is crisis the right word, do you believe?
Yeah, I think they should have deemed this a crisis years ago. This has been going on for a long time, and it wasn't getting the attention it was deserved. And I think that now we see that now the federal agencies have to get involved because of the mishandling of the lead situation. And I think that now at some point, I think that there could have been criminal charges pressed about this years ago. But now nothing happened. Everything died down. They said over the weekend, 250 children were tested. I tell people, if you got a child in NPS, get tested. Even if you're not a part of the 250 that was over the weekend, make sure that your kid is being tested because all of this is going on and we don't want to miss anybody.
So WTMJ interviewed the new superintendent about that and asked how many are lead poisoned. She said a handful. And Adam Roberts pressed her again, and she would not answer how many from that weekend clinic of the 250 students are lead poisoned.
Well, that's because now she has to be the face of a situation of a crisis, and many times you get the word salad. You get the word salad, and we don't need word salad right now. What we need is to really get in and core this problem out because it's something that does tremendous damage to the youth. And I'll tell you this is not the time to play around. We got to be very transparent and upfront on how we're handling the situation.
Health effects, and there could be more than 100 buildings involved. So maybe we'll get some federal dollars from the EPA.
Hopefully, to eradicate it.
Some help for sure. Tori Lowe, you can hear him on 101.7 The Truth. It's the Tori Lowe Show from 1 to 4. We always love it when you're here, Tori, and it was really nice to meet your assistant.
All right. Thank you for having me. My brother Theo here from Vegas.
Wow.
Oh, Vegas.
Excellent.
Dang, Theo, no wonder you got a big smile.
He got a Raiders hat on, too.
He's not going to have a smile when the snow comes.
Yeah, I hope he's ready. I hope you got him a hat.
I
and
need
some
to
gloves.
go to vacation where it's warm. I need to go to Vegas.
Yeah, you need to. He came here. Now you get to go to Vegas.
Right.
Yeah. Can
That's
Julie and
how
I
it works,
go?
right.
Can Julie and I go with you?
Hey, of course. Theo does the big shows out in Vegas. He does the sound engineering.
Oh, that's fun. So like when Britney Spears had her residency, he might be doing that.
Hey, you might see him out there.
Oh, that's good. All
Big
right.
time. He big time. He trying to stay low key in Milwaukee.
Yeah, he is. He looks pretty cool too.
Now coming
Tori,
up,
thank you.
There's
God bless
new
you.
plans for the Great Lakes Cruise Lines. Very exciting information ahead with Visit Milwaukee. Next, it's 4:13 on WTMJ.
The only place to get this.
Instead, he swivels his way inside and punches it through with a one-hand dunk. Tell you what, sometimes he can take on the look of a ballerina, a big ballerina at that.
With some of this.
This was a pretty disheartening loss. This wasn't a case of the Golden State Warriors for 48 minutes thoroughly outplaying you. This was there for the take.
Get it all on Bucks Talk, your all-encompassing Milwaukee Bucks postgame show. Only heard here
It's time
on
for the
home of
Milwaukee
Bucks, WTMJ.
The Census Bureau says more than 12,000 Americans turn 65 each day. It's a surge they call Peak 65, the highest number in history. Some Annex clients retire early. Some keep working because they love it. You know why? Because they've got custom plans built by fee-only fiduciaries. They identified their wants and needs, and we went to work. We want to do the same for you. Annex does financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Visit AnnexWealth.com and click the Get Started button.
Hey, serving Milwaukee since 1945. It's Otto's Wine and Spirits. You know you've been by the places, right? They've got like 7 in Milwaukee. I do more than go buy them. I go in them. It's Otto's Wine and Spirits. It's where I shop for everything. Wine, beer, seltzer, spirits. Yeah, it's Wisconsin strong. They'll beat any advertised price. It's Otto's. Just bought a case of Pinot Noir from California. Got an incredible deal on it. It's Otto's. That's how they roll. Tito's, Aperol, all the cool seltzers. It's Otto's Wine and Spirits. Check them out today.
True Chicago-style pizza is thin, crispy, and cut into squares. And thanks to Connie's Frozen Pizza, you can enjoy a true slice of the city. You'll enjoy it so much you won't even mind where it comes from. Connie's Frozen Pizzas are made from the same cornmeal crust Connie's has been serving for over 60 years. They're perfectly cheesy, perfectly saucy, and they're exactly what you crave. Get to know the true Chicago style with Connie's Frozen Pizza. Born in Chicago, loved by cheeseheads. Available in a freezer aisle near you.
Traffic and weather, Debbie Lazaga. Hey, Deb.
You crash now on 894 westbound just as you're getting into the Hale interchange to go northbound. It's off on the right shoulder, so something to keep in mind as you head through that. We still have that other accident southbound 43 at Fond du Lac Avenue. Delays basically coming in from Capitol Drive pretty much all the way down through the Marquette. And then we do still have that ramp from southbound 94 to the airport spur eastbound. All those lanes of the ramp are blocked right now because of debris. So if you do need to head to the airport, make sure you take Layton over to Howell Avenue and you can get into the airport that way. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, some rain and snow. Snow mostly for us is going to be less than a couple of inches. North and west, it could be 3 or 4. So not too bad. It's going to melt tomorrow, high of 41 degrees. Chance for flurries early in the day. Friday, a high of 54 with maybe a little rain. Saturday, partly cloudy, much cooler, a high of 38. Sunday, a chance for rain-snow mix, a high of 42 degrees. It's currently 37 with light rain. Peggy Williams-Smith is the president and CEO of Visit Milwaukee, and she's just out of that rain and with us in the studio. It wasn't too light, is that right?
No, it was not.
Oh my.
Not at all.
Is it windy?
It is very windy outside, yes.
No, it's always good to see you, Peggy. Thanks for being here with us. Wanted to ask you, big press conference today on the economic impact of cruising on the Great Lakes. I'm amazed at how this has taken off in the last 5 years. paint the picture for us. Give us an idea. How big a deal is this? And Milwaukee, of course, a big part of that.
You know, I will tell you that when I started at Visit Milwaukee, one of the first meetings I had was with Adam Tyndall-Schlicht and Jasmine Jerkowitz from the port at the time before Jackie took over. And they called and said, we need to have a meeting with you about cruises in Milwaukee. And I'm like, what? Like, it just didn't even register to me that this was even a thing. And I met with them and they told me that in February of 2020, they were going to announce that Viking was building 2 ships that were going to start sailing on the Great Lakes and come through Milwaukee on a regular basis. We all know what happened a month later, 5 years ago. Yeah. The world shut down. Cruising didn't happen for 20 or 21. And then in 2022, we went to like 30 cruise ships coming in. So we went from 6 to 30 with nowhere in between. We're going to see 22 cruise ships this year, a little over 11,000 passengers. New cruise line this year called Victory.
Oh, that's exciting.
It is. It's incredibly exciting. They're going to be here 3 times this year, but they're looking at 26 and increasing that quadruple.
Oh, my God.
So that is going to, we think 2026 may be the biggest cruise year ever.
Wow.
That's really good. So that may help pay for the new port that they want. Do you like that? That's a good idea?
It's going to be so much nicer when we welcome guests into that dock. When, you know, right now Viking comes in, they're the only ship that comes there. They can only dock at that port because of the size of the vessel.
Yep.
And right now Viking has to do a lot. We as Visit Milwaukee do a lot to add to the experience when the guests disembark off the ship, just because it is
industrial.
It's an industrial dock, and this will help with the industrial side in addition to making that welcome so much more warm when those visitors get off the ship.
These itineraries are really cool, too. They're incredible. For people who aren't familiar with our part of the world, it's usually Chicago, it's us, then you get to go up into Lake Superior, and these are great itineraries, Peggy.
They are. And, you know, the amount of money they infuse into the local economies at the ports in which they stop is amazing. I know that at the press conference this morning, they talked about Harley-Davidson Museum and how many visitors they saw last year from these cruise passengers. They have itineraries that range. They go to the Pabst Mansion. Yeah. They do big, they do small. Victory, it's really interesting because I actually had dinner with the lady who is the vice president of destinations. She was explaining to me that one of their cruises is specifically focused on Frank Lloyd Wright.
Wow.
Which is why they're going to do more cruises through Milwaukee.
Excellent.
Because we're home to Taliesin, as well as Burnham Block and all of those things, and Wingspread.
That is so cool. Peggy Williams-Smith is with us live in the studio. All right, can we ask you about the NCAA tournament?
100%.
We are jazzed. It's here. The teams are arriving. The games start coming up here. They're this weekend.
Wow.
Give us an idea of the impact when something like that comes. I want to ask you on 2 fronts, the dollar front and the branding marketing bang that we get when people see our city on national TV.
You know, I think that for us, we look at both. Obviously, there's an economic impact that's going to happen. We have 8 teams here. Games start tomorrow at 12:30. Go through Sunday. We're going to be the center of the sports universe with the other cities that are hosting rounds 1 and 2. And, you know, anytime you get to see our skyline, when they zoom into Fiserv Forum, it gives people an idea of just what an amazing city it is. So we love hosting things like this. This is a year of sports for Milwaukee and the region, and we're happy to capitalize on that.
And what's happening at the Baird Center?
Well, more sports. We've got Badger Region Volleyball, 10,000 students coming in and using the exhibit hall, the 300,000 square feet of exhibit hall, to make sure that they're, watching all these kids play volleyball all weekend as well.
I want to ask you, so Peggy, how things have changed, whether it's an event at the Baird Center or whether it's something at Fiserv Forum. It used to be that we always saw the Calatrava and then wherever the teams were playing, and I love the Calatrava. Now our skyline has been transformed. Things are different. Milwaukee is a different place nationally, isn't it?
It is. And I will tell you, it's funny because my husband called me out. He was watching, it must have been the Bucks game, and he's like, I've never seen this skyline shot before. You need to get out here. This is amazing. And it is. I mean, you still see Calatrava. You don't ever not want to see it when you're zooming in. But then the way they drone through the city and see all of these buildings, I mean, the couture, amazing.
And I think we take for granted it's easy to that. We have the river that goes through the city, so it's not just Chicago that has the cool river. I mean, we have so many different facets.
Yes, they
to what
do
makes
show
our
off
place
the river
cool.
and our bridges
Yeah,
in
they
those
do.
beauty shots.
They do, and the river is amazing, and there's so much activity on the river now, more so than there ever used to be, especially, during the summer when we do our performers on the Riverwalk with the Milwaukee Theater District.
Yeah. So you and your husband get to any of the games?
We're going to go tomorrow on Friday. Friday. I keep thinking today's Thursday.
I do too.
We're going on Friday during the afternoon.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so fun. And by the way, for people who want to get in and the tickets are hard to come by because it's such a popular thing, the teams are practicing for free. And you can go to Fiserv and you can get in the
nice.
practice sessions for free.
Hot tip. That is amazing,
Yes.
John. I didn't know
How
that.
cool is that? So you can put that on your list. All right, what are you most excited about as we think about the summer, Peggy? As we think about our great Milwaukee summer, which will begin to unfold here.
That's like asking me what my favorite child is. There's so many things. I mean, festival season's about to kick off. We've got the U.S. Women's Open at Erin Hills.
Yes.
In April, we're going to be hosting a bunch of events in conjunction with the NFL Draft. We know that people are going to want to fly in here, stay here, and then drive up to experience Lambeau Field. So we're hoping that we capitalize on some of that and drum up some local excitement too, with some cool events at UWM Panther Arena and a lunch. There's, go to our website, visit Milwaukee.org. Anytime you can see all of the cool events that are taking place throughout the city.
Big and small, like the night market will get going down here and all the little things that make our city so special.
I was meeting when I was with the Great Lakes people. One of them had been here a year ago, and they were here the night of a night market, and they were just blown away by
It's special.
the community. It is. It's absolutely special.
Wisconsin Avenue gets shut down, and it's really, really cool. Thanks for all the work you do for our city. You shine a really bright light on us. You're like our biggest cheerleader.
Thank you.
Peggy Williams-Smith, Visit Milwaukee's president and CEO. Always good to see you. Thanks, Peggy.
Good to see you.
The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. I don't know if you're like me, but every day I'm kind of nervous. Like, it's all green today. It's very, very good. The Dow is up 383 points. That's 1%. The NASDAQ was up 247. That's almost 1.5% today. The S&P 500 was up 61 points on the day. Annex Wealth Management is financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Know the difference with Annex.
Pastor Tim Butker here, inviting you to join us each week for Christian Crusaders. The Bible tells the greatest story ever told, one of hope, redemption, and new life. As we journey through a Bible overview and head towards Easter, we remember the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ, the Son of God, who conquered sin and the grave for us all. Grow in faith with us as we open the all-powerful Word of God. Tune in Sundays at 6 a.m. on WTMJ.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at Right Choice Tax Resolution. We have talked with a number of new clients who told us the same story. They had a tax situation and went with one of those national firms with the TV and radio ads. You know the ones. They guarantee they can settle your tax owed for pennies on the dollar. They take a $10,000 fee up front, and then you never hear from them again. We are a local firm and just want to help you resolve your situation so you can get on with your life. Don't let your bank account get wiped out, your paycheck or Social Security get garnished, or a lien put on your house so that you can't sell it or get refinanced. The state can even put a hold on your occupational license. Make the right choice and call 844-222-1192 or visit rightchoicetax.us today. Schedule a free meeting so we can talk and come up with a solution to solve your situation now. It will not go away if you bury your head in the sand. The first meeting is free. Call now, 844-222-1192 or visit rightchoicetax.us.
Connect Chiropractic, a focus on wellness care and helping people do the things they want. I'm playing more and more pickleball, and I know I'm going to be okay. I know I can do the things I want to do because I go to Connect every single week, and they make sure that I'm where I'm supposed to be. Dr. Alex and his teams at all their locations, absolutely incredible. They can help with allergies, headaches, back pain, of course, neck pain, sleep concerns, neuropathy. It's Connect Chiropractic. They're gentle. They're nuanced. They are voted Milwaukee's top chiropractor by Milwaukee Journal Sentinel readers. Tomorrow morning is my Connect morning. I'm excited. It's Connect Chiropractic.
This March, Heiser Automotive Group is putting the pedal to the metal with our Accelerate Your Refund sales and service event. Tax season is the best time to upgrade your ride or take care of your current vehicle. And we're making it easier than ever to turn your tax refund into turbocharged buying power. Accelerate into a newer used vehicle or get essential repairs and maintenance done. Plus, with Heiser's exclusive Safe and Sound program, you can buy and service with confidence, convenience, and peace of mind. Visit Heiser.com today.
See dealer for complete details.
Just Between Friends, Milwaukee County. WTMJ's Julia Fellow here. I want to share their spring sale coming up. It's where parents and grandparents have the chance to buy everything you can think of for your growing family at an affordable price. Learn more at milwaukeecounty.jbfsale.com. You'll find gently used infant, routine clothing, books, toys, sporting equipment at up to 90% off the retail price. Everything safety checked, happening Friday, April 11th through Sunday, April 13th. Pre-sale tickets April 10th for you to get the first look. It's at Wisconsin State Fair Park's Expo Center, so we're about a month out. So join us for Just Between Friends Milwaukee County Spring Sale. Beat inflation. Get tickets at milwaukeecounty.jbfsale.com. That's milwaukeecounty.jbfsale.com.
I'm John Mercure. Welcome to our Everyday Health feature, sponsored by the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. About 15% of adults in the U.S. report problems hearing in one or both ears, and it can range from mild to severe hearing loss. If you have hearing loss, even if it's mild, it can impact your quality of life and ability to work or socialize. Here to tell us more is Jamie Jensen, an audiologist specializing in hearing loss with the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. Jamie, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
What are the leading causes of hearing loss?
There are a number of things that can cause or contribute to hearing loss for people. Long-term noise exposure without the use of hearing protection, head trauma. There are certain medications that can cause hearing loss. Some people experience a sudden hearing loss. This typically occurs in only one ear, and often we don't know the exact reason for that hearing loss. Ear infections can cause hearing loss, and then, of course, the most common cause of hearing loss is aging.
What are the signs of hearing loss?
For people who have some hearing loss, they may start noticing that they're having a hard time following conversations, particularly if there are two or more people talking, or if there's background noise present in the environment. They may find that they're asking others to repeat more often, or turning up the volume on the TV, often louder than is comfortable for other people in the room. They may find certain voices, such as women or children, are more difficult to understand.
Why should people with hearing loss seek treatment through the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network?
We have an experienced team of audiologists, ENT physicians, and neuro-otologists who will thoroughly evaluate your hearing. Based on the type and degree of hearing loss, whether it be mild, moderate, or severe, we will recommend a hearing treatment option that will best fit your hearing needs and will help you to meet your personal goals.
She's Jamie Jensen. Jamie, thank you for being with us today. To find a doctor who's right for you, visit Froedtert.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 4:30. I'm John Mercure, hearing from both sides before the April 1st election.
I'm Julia Fellow, calling for Senate Majority Leader to step down.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Got some delays along 41 southbound from Appleton Avenue all the way down to Capitol Drive. Northbound slowing from Wisconsin Avenue all the way up to Capitol Drive. We've got a crash on 43 southbound that just got cleared up at Fond du Lac Avenue. Still seeing delays, though, from Capitol all the way down through the Marquette down to the KK River crossing. Another accident, 894 westbound, right as you're turning to go northbound on the bypass in the Hale interchange, off on the right shoulder, and the ramp from southbound 94 to Highway 119 or the airport spur heading eastbound. All those lanes are blocked right now on that ramp because of debris. You'll need to get off at Layton, head over to Howell, and use that to get to the airport. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Wind and snow triggered a winter weather advisory for Ozaukee, Sheboygan, Fond du Lac, and Dodge County starting at 7. Rain turns into snow. We could see up to 2 inches and more totals further north. The low will be 29 degrees.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Decision Wisconsin. The two candidates for Wisconsin's open state Supreme Court seat fielding questions on WTMJ's Political Power Hour.
Among those questions, how each candidate can stay beholden to law and order when donations to campaigns have already set judicial election records and could approach $100 million by April 1st. Waukesha County Judge Brad Schimmel.
It doesn't matter whether you are someone who supported my opponent or someone who supported me. You get the same standard in my court.
Dane County Judge Susan Crawford.
I've told anyone who is interested in my race that I welcome their support, but they have to know that they're supporting a fair, impartial judge.
Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
In Madison, a bill that would undo an overhaul of how Wisconsin measures academic achievement has been sent to the governor's desk.
There are 18 ayes, 14 noes, and the bill is concurred in.
It would require the State Department of Public Instruction to overhaul its state's report cards to match how they measure academic achievement before the changes were made last year. It's unclear whether the governor will sign it, but he has criticized the process of State Superintendent Jill Underly when she changed the report cards.
A bar owner in West Allis is facing the loss of his liquor license and is facing a defamation lawsuit, all stemming from a one-star Google review.
Bryn Duttell of Onalaska, Wisconsin, says the owner of the Drunk Uncle, Neil Stefik, repeatedly kissed her friend and offered her a job during a visit to the bar earlier this month. The following day, she posted the one-star review online, which Duttell says led to a salacious response from Stefik. Stefik is also accused of making false comments alleging Duttell sexually assaulted a Drunk Uncle employee. The West Allis Common Council voting not to renew the bar's liquor license Tuesday. Stefik has 45 days to respond to the suit. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
After introducing their most expensive motorcycle just 2 weeks ago, Harley-Davidson decreases the price for its entry-level model. The base price for this year's Nightster is $10,000, which is $2,000 less than last year's. Harley-Davidson described the newest entry level as more attainable than ever.
The Milwaukee County Transit System is celebrating 50 years on the road with a new fleet of buses.
The new 6400 series buses are rolling out starting today, and interim MCTS manager Julie Esch says in addition to a color scheme change, there will be some new technology inside as well.
Our riders want to feel more secure, so we have monitors inside the buses now.
MCTS is also rolling out a separate throwback bus that will be wrapped in a similar style to buses that were on the roads in 1975. At the MCTS Administration Building in Milwaukee, Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
The Fed decided to keep interest rates the same for now, despite back and forth on a stock market over President Trump's changing positions on tariffs. Jerome Powell says despite concerns about a possible recession over market turmoil, he does not see a recession happening in the immediate future.
There's always an unconditional possibility of a recession. It might be broadly in the range of 1 in 4 at any time if you look back through the years. I will say this, we don't make such a forecast.
Analysts expect the Fed to change rates at some point later this year.
Maryland Democratic Congressman Glenn Ivey is calling for New York's Chuck Schumer to step down as Senate Minority Leader. News Nation's Joe Khalil.
This is a statement that his office and he sent to us. Quote, I respect Chuck Schumer. I think he had a great long-standing career. He did a lot of great things, but I'm afraid it may be time for the Senate Democrats to get a new leader. Congressman Ivey certainly not the only person to express that opinion. Congresswoman Delia Ramirez said the same thing. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett over the weekend saying that she certainly understands if people in New York want to push for somebody younger than Chuck Schumer.
Schumer's been facing backlash after he voted to pass the Republican-crafted government spending bill last week.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Your Bucks dropped 5 of the last 7 games and are in offensive funk, according to the head coach, Doc Rivers. A 5-game Western Conference road trip continues tomorrow against the Lakers. And the Brewers are on the field against the White Sox in Cactus League right now in Arizona. And that is it. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 4:35.
Lake Geneva is the Midwest's premier golf destination, featuring breathtaking views, crystal clear lakes, and rolling fairways. Treat yourself to an all-inclusive golf getaway with courses designed for all skill levels, luxurious lodging, distinctive dining, and a relaxing spa. Plan a Lake Geneva group golf outing, a corporate event, or a weekend getaway with friends or family. Their pros will help you plan a memorable golf experience. For info on courses and more, visit lakegeneva.com today. Lake Geneva, it's always been the place for legendary golf.
Hey, are you sick of not being your bank's top priority? That's a crappy feeling. Nobody likes that feeling, right? Where the place you do your business, you feel like they're not taking care of you, not appreciating you. I never feel that way. I bank at Town Bank, and I know that they are locked in. I know they take care of me. They take care of the people that bank there. Whether you bank in person or online, Town Bank's going to make sure that you are big time taken care of. They take a different approach to banking at Town Bank. They're proud to be your one true banking partner focused on your unique financial goals. And that matters to me. And they're right in our own backyard. That means they're philanthropic. They give back. They make a difference. Whether you're opening your first account, maybe it's for those little kids, or maybe it's because you moved into the area. Whether you're buying a home, that's a big deal. Need that mortgage. Planning for the future, or starting or selling a business, at Town Bank, they have tailored solutions to get you there. Stop settling and start experiencing a better way to bank at Town Bank. It's easy. Check out the website, townbank.us. Different approach. Better results. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. It's Town Bank.
Join your boy Tori Lowe and the Truth Team for our community cleanup on Saturday, April 12th. Go to truthcommunitycleanup.com to sign up to volunteer at one of our 3 cleanup locations. Everyone who joins gets a free lunch provided by Cousin Subs. Register today by visiting truthcommunitycleanup.com. Bring the whole family to help clean our city. The Tori Lowe Cleanup is presented by 1MKE and sponsored by Cousin Subs, Ray's Coca-Cola, Landmark Credit Union, and Waste Management.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Yes! Ann Sayers is the best. You know what they need? They need a Mount Rushmore for travel secretaries. I think I've mentioned this before. We're going to do this. We've got a lot of places, like maybe out in one of our state parks, and Ann Sayers would be the first head.
Absolutely.
Ann, what do you think about that? We'd make it look nice.
I think people are really going to go for that. Yeah.
We could have people visit it.
Hey, Ann, before we get to today's topic. Ann's husband's on line 4. He wants to weigh in on this. Hey, Ann, you were talking cruising today. I know you have other stuff you want to talk about, but it's a big deal, isn't it? You were at the press conference today. Great Lakes cruising is a big thing.
It is a big thing, and it was so amazing because I got to welcome all of my colleagues from the Great Lakes states. We all convened in Milwaukee over the last 3 days to talk about cruising and just promoting the Great Lakes for tourists across the world, the globe. And we had such a good time, and I have to tell you, they loved Milwaukee. Milwaukee totally delivered. We had a great time.
I love that. That's so great to hear. Coming up, we're heading into a time of year where if you're a sports lover, this is really big time here in Wisconsin.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking a lot about the draft, but whether you like football, baseball, golf, something else, we have a lot of sports to love.
Yeah, and I love that someone could win an epic trip to the NFL draft.
Yes, there's going to be a lot of epic moments, and Travel Wisconsin is offering a trip with epic experiences. Travel Wisconsin's Dream Draft Sweepstakes is going to offer a once-in-a-lifetime trip to attend the first day of the draft. It's 10 lucky winners plus a guest. They receive a round-trip transportation to and from Milwaukee, as well as several nights lodging in Milwaukee. The winners will then take a VIP bus trip to Green Bay. They'll stop in Kohler for a curated experience along the way. Then once they're in Green Bay, they'll savor the sights and sounds of the draft and receive an exclusive meet and greet with the hosts of ESPN Radio's Unsportsmanlike. This is an epic trip.
Wow.
I know. You're going to want to enter by March 31st. It's open to those 21 and older. You can enter Travel Wisconsin's Dream Draft Sweepstakes by visiting travelwisconsin.com/draft.
Julia looked pretty jazzed when you mentioned that Kohler experience.
I know. I'm like, oh my gosh, I want this.
I know. I think you had me at Kohler. I'm with you.
Rock County has a cool thing at their cool ballpark. I think the ballpark's new, actually.
This is so fun, and you can plan a trip for this spring for small town charm and big stadium fun. The Beloit Skycarp, they're a minor league baseball affiliate of the Miami Marlins, and their season starts in early April. You're going to have a blast cheering on the hometown team at, like you said, the phenomenal ABC Supply Stadium. Opened in 2021. You'll be treated with all the modern amenities of a state-of-the-art ballpark, plus the intimacy of a minor league game. You can snack your way through concessions. That would be me. Browse the swag in the pro shop and enjoy entertainment like post-game fireworks. So like I said, if you're in Beloit, you got to stop by the Butterfly Club. It's been in business over 101 years.
Whoa.
It's a supper club, staple of the Beloit community's crazy appetizers, favorites like shrimp de jong. I want to try this. It's baked with onion, mozzarella, and mushrooms inside a puff pastry shell.
Oh,
That sounds so good.
yes, it does. And then
And a
after the
little sauce
draft,
blanc.
then after the draft, we can look forward to the Women's Open.
Yes, I'm really excited about this because Wisconsin is hosting another premier sporting event this spring, the U.S. Women's Open. Start planning now to see the world's best golfers compete at Erin Hills for the 80th U.S. Women's Open. The tournament is the preeminent women's major championship, and I'm so excited about it to be there to see career-defining women moments for women. This will be the 5th USGA tournament hosted at the iconic course in Hartford, and visitors can choose from a variety of ticket options, from daily tickets to weekly packages. There's also a really family-friendly event as children 17 and under receive free admission. And then mark your calendar from May 29th to June 1st so you do not miss the U.S. Women's Open.
All right, let's talk football in Eau Claire. I never really thought of football in Eau Claire, but this sounds pretty cool, Ann.
Well, this is a new one to me. I am so excited about it. Our newest football team when visiting Northwest Wisconsin is the Eau Claire Axemen. They debut in the Arena League starting in May, and it's a different style of indoor football. The games are played on a shorter field with a faster pace. The Eau Claire Axemen will call the Sonatag Center home. It's a brand new facility. It's the largest indoor event venue in northwestern Wisconsin. You can start checking out home games from May 24th through July 26th. In addition to everything else there is to do in Eau Claire, I just love this.
I do too. This is so cool. By the way, we've been on the phone with a granite blaster out near the Kettle Moraine. Well, they're getting ready to do Ann's sculpture out at the statue thing.
Got it.
Yeah.
Pretty quick turnaround on that.
Yeah, it's pretty quick, Ann. We will send you sketches. We'll send you some stuff so you can sign off on everything.
Thanks.
You're such a good sport. Ann Sayers is the travel secretary. The website is travelwisconsin.com. Ann, have a great rest of the week.
You too. Take care.
It is 4:43.
On Wisconsin's Morning News, we profile the average John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they got up one morning that they'd be saving a life, becoming everyday heroes.
There, yeah, she flew off the road right at a bridge, so she went down an embankment. No one could see her vehicle
until a guy named Johnny Martinez happened to come by.
I said, "Ma'am, how long have you been here?" And she said, "I've been here since Wednesday night." And I said, no, it's today's Tuesday.
Everyday Hero, Thursdays at 6:40. Presented by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care.
John Mercure here for my friends at Annex Wealth Management. Investment and retirement planning is critically important. And too many people, believe it or not, they just kind of put it off. It's a gentle reminder to have a talk with Annex Wealth Management. We've been there for more than a decade. I trust the guys there. They're great. Getting to know Annex is easy. If it makes sense, you move forward. And there's nothing wrong with a second look at your current plan, especially if your current partner is going through changes that maybe make you uncomfortable. Annex operates as one team. In-house financial planning, investment, tax, and estate teams, all right there in-house. Annex makes it convenient with branches across the WTMJ listening area. Meeting online's no problem either. That's where Annex Everywhere comes into play. It's easy to connect with them. My guy is Mike Murtos. He's in Mequon. He's fantastic, and he takes good care of us, and I know my future is headed the right direction. Tariffs contribute to uncertainty. Volatility is here. Time for a seasoned approach for you and your family. Time to do something is sooner rather than later. Visit annexwealth.com. Click the Get Started button. Michelle and I did that years ago. You can schedule your own appointment today. That's Annex Wealth Management. Fee-only fiduciary. Know the difference with Annex.
Ready to upgrade your home's exterior? Family owned and operated since 1983, J&J Contractors specializes in top quality windows, doors, and siding that enhance your home while increasing its value and energy efficiency. From modern vinyl siding to stylish fiberglass doors, and from double hung windows to sliding glass doors, they have the perfect solutions for your home. Contact them today for a free consultation. Just search online J&J Contractors or call 414-423-9200. J&J Contractors. Welcome home.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, it's Brian Noonan. I can't believe how well Milwaukee Weight Loss is working. I've only been doing it for 8 weeks. I've already lost over 43 pounds. I'm well on my way to my ultimate goal. I have a coach who helps me out. Everything is going terrific.
Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. Schedule your free consultation by calling 262-449-1180 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Traffic and then weather, Debbie Lazaga.
Okay, southbound on 43, still a bit of a hefty ride as you're making your way down from about Keefe all the way down through the Marquette down to the KK River crossing. Northbound side, heavy out of the Marquette all the way up to Keefe as well. Westbound 94, watch for backups as you're making your way from 20th Street all the way to about Hawley Road. You'll be back on the brakes as you're making your way past Brookfield Road. The eastbound side has the delays from Springdale Road all the way past Barker, and then back on the brakes from 76th Street all the way to about 27th. Southbound on 41, a hefty ride there from Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. The northbound side is backed up from Blue Mound Road all the way up past Burleigh. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
High winds and snow triggered a winter weather advisory for Ozaukee, Sheboygan, Fond du Lac, and Dodge County starting at 7. Rain expected to turn into snow, could see up to 2 inches, and more totals further north. The low will be 29. Tomorrow, a chance of snow early, then the skies clear, a high 41. Chance of more showers late Friday, the high will be 54. Cooler Saturday, the high will be 38. A rain-snow mix chance is back Sunday, the high will be 42 degrees.
It's time for the Milwaukee Economy Briefing, where we dive into the latest trends and insights shaping our city's business landscape. Alongside MMAC President Dale Koinga, here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow, presented by Huracan Bank.
Let's bring in Dale Koinga, the president and CEO. He is the boss man. He is with us. Dale, good afternoon. Thanks for being here.
Good to be here. Hope you're doing well.
NCAA tournament is in town. Were you a basketball player, or do people just assume that because you're 6'7"?
No, basketball is what brought me to Wisconsin. I played junior college for 2 years in Chicago and then got recruited to Lakeland University. I was a proud Muskie and played at Lakeland, just Division III ball. I got the height. I got the work ethic. I never had the speed. But I was on a great team. I played with some great guys, and I'm a huge fan of NCAA sports at all levels, Division I, II, or III. I really feel like it made a big impact on my life and gave me opportunities. And so I'm a huge basketball fan, and I'm super excited that the NCAA men's tournament, it will be here on Friday and Sunday.
How big a deal is it? What sort of impact will it have?
Well, the estimate they have is an economic impact of $3.4 million. What I like about it is I'm out of town right now again, and when you just bring up Milwaukee, a lot of people just don't know Milwaukee. But when they have visited Milwaukee, they light up and they say, "Oh, I love Milwaukee. I did this, I did that." And so the dollars running through hotels and the airports, that amounts in the restaurants, that amounts to $3.4 million. But you really can't put a dollar amount because it's hard on the goodwill that Milwaukee gets from being on television and people traveling here to follow their team, and then they get interested in Milwaukee. So it's all good. It has a good impact, and I think we can count on having the tournament every 2 or 3 years in Milwaukee based on the way it's been happening the last couple of years.
And what's so nice is that there's so many drive-in teams like Illinois and Iowa, so I think that will drive up how many visitors we have.
Yeah, there's some teams here that definitely travel well. Kentucky, that team travels very well. Illinois, they're gonna be up here as well. So there's some teams, when you see the teams that are headed to Milwaukee, that will be a sold-out crowd. There will not be an empty seat. They'll be standing room only, and they'll be here with their college gear on, looking like a college bookstore or a college sports store downtown.
Hey, will you be in town? Will you get into any of the games?
I'm missing Friday, unfortunately, but I will be at Sunday's game.
Ooh!
I have my daughter. This is just a fun day of sports. My daughter, who plays volleyball, my 5th grader, she has volleyball in the morning at the Baird Center. So I'll be watching 5th grade girls volleyball at the Baird Center, and then walking over and watch NCAA basketball in the afternoon. Good
That's
Milwaukee.
Good. What a great day.
Good Milwaukee day of family in the morning, followed by some NCAA basketball in the afternoon.
By not family in the afternoon. That's a perfect day.
Well, I'm trying to see. I got to deal with my son. If he gets all A's on his report card, which is coming out, he will be accompanying me.
Oh.
If he doesn't meet expectations, then we'll have to reassess the situation. So there'll be hopefully family involved. We'll
That's
see.
a tough
But you gotta have
standard,
those
Dad.
parents out there.
All A's.
Well, this is NCAA tournament. You got a big prize. You got to have come to play ball. So
good for you. I like it.
Awesome. And the state Senate is voting to undo the changes to the state tests. It's on Governor Tony Evers' desk right now. Do you think it'll be signed by Tony Evers?
Julia, we were having such a good time talking about college basketball. And you had to talk about politics and lack of educational standards, just like that. You did so nonchalantly.
Buzzkill.
Nicely done. Yeah, buzzkill. It is a buzzkill because all of a sudden, and I give Governor Evers tons of credit on this because he actually came out against his fellow Democrat, the DPI head, which isn't just like any governor coming out against this. This was the governor who was the head of DPI for 10 years saying, I don't know what's going on over there. And the press asked him, did she tell you that they were going to come out with these new standards where nobody is failing in Wisconsin? And he said, no, she didn't talk to anybody. DPI just put this out there. So what's happened now is the legislature has done a bill saying, hey, DPI, you need to go back to these old standards that actually give some clarity on what's going on out there and standards that other states use. And so they passed that. It's on the governor's desk now. So it really puts the governor in an awkward position, which that's not.
He's criticized it,
politically
though.
Great. He did criticize it. So hopefully he signs it, because I think it would be a powerful message to say, hey, you had no input on this. This doesn't make sense. And the whole bigger thing is, check out this is a big race, folks, on April 1. There's a big race. Brittany Kinzer is running against Julie Underly, and she has been a tough superintendent of DPI with not being present in the community and putting out standards out there that don't make sense. So it'll be interesting if Governor Evers signs this bill or if he vetoes it.
Dale, finally, we want to ask you about the Milwaukee Tech Hub launching an AI initiative, and this is for some of the smaller to medium-sized players in the market. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it's nice when you have not-for-profits that come alongside with ideas like this, and the reason it matters is that a typical consulting firm to come in on AI is going to cost you 6 figures, sometimes 7 figures, and our community is stacked with hundreds of mid-sized manufacturing companies. And these mid-sized manufacturing companies really need to get over the hump on AI to be competitive, but it doesn't always make tons of sense for that upfront investment. So this is a very exciting thing that Milwaukee Tech Hub's doing. Got a lot of friends over there, and hopefully there's some interest in this. I know there'll be interest in the manufacturing community on this, and they're going out there and doing AI consulting with Midpoint Consulting as a partner on this. And we'll see how they hit the field, and hopefully it makes an impact in the Milwaukee community.
Man, we hope your boy gets those A's. We're cheering hard. You got a bright family. We think he's going to do it. He's going to be sitting right next to you in Fiserv.
We'll see.
If not, we know somebody that could maybe use that ticket. You just let us know.
Or is this both of you guys basketball fans? Or
I can share a seat with John.
Exactly. We'll share the seat.
Yeah.
Share a seat.
Might be trouble getting in, but we'll work.
We will have to figure this out.
I hope your boy's there.
Future sporting event.
Hey, thank you for always making time for us. We appreciate it. Dale Koinga is the president and CEO of the Metropolitan Milwaukee Association of Commerce. Have a good rest of the week, Dale.
You too. Take care.
It is 4:55 at WTMJ. The Milwaukee Economy Briefing is sponsored by Horicon Bank, the natural choice. Visit horiconbank.com.
Tell us a little bit about Innovative Signs.
We're located out in Waukesha. Where we are really focused mostly is manufacturing outdoor electrical signs.
You came to Horicon Bank. How do you think other local businesses can benefit?
When I call, Michelle picks up the phone, and when I email, she responds in a timely manner. A few years ago, I talked to my accountant about shopping around looking for a different bank just to get some alternatives, and he said, absolutely not. You're not going to like working for a big bank. They have a lot more regulations. So that's how we got involved with Cornerstone Bank. When Horicon purchased Cornerstone, we came along for the ride, and it's been great.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
The city of Port Washington is moving forward with the annexation of more than 38 acres from the town of Port Washington for a subdivision with 97 single-family homes. Pewaukee-based Newman Construction proposed the development that will have price points starting in the upper $400,000. There is a new owner for the Andrew Toyota and Andrew Chevrolet car dealerships in Milwaukee. Umansky Automotive Group of Memphis, Tennessee, closed on the acquisition of the dealerships on February 28th, but didn't disclose the transaction price for the business. Finally, the Agency Cocktail Lounge in downtown Milwaukee is a semi-finalist for the James Beard Awards for Best New Bar. It's located in the historic Double Dutch Hotel on Marshall Street. I'm Drew Dawson from MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
No shortcuts, no compromises, just the job done right. At Exterior Pros, we don't just meet expectations, we crush them. Every nail, every window, every shingle is a step toward your home's next chapter. From the moment we start until that final reveal, we're committed to making your home better than ever. Quality products and craftsmanship you can count on. Go to the pros for your next project. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274.
At Grunberg Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
Beer fans, travel lovers, and history buffs, this is your dream vacation. Join me, Sandy Max, on a 10-day journey through Germany, Austria, and the Czech Republic. We'll enjoy Munich's famous beer halls, sip our way through Salzburg's historic breweries, and discover Vienna's culture and craft beer scene. Then end the tour in Prague, where ancient history meets modern brews. From iconic castles to authentic flavors, grab your passport and let's raise a glass to the ultimate beer adventure. Limited spots available. Book now. Email me, sandy@WTMJ.com to learn more.
$1 for just $1 over cost. You can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, just $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. Available at all 5 Griffin stores. Just $1 over cost. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers. Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is here for you, bringing you the latest headlines with John McCure.
So today we're told the officers were paired up and they were in the halls and in schools together. We were told it went without incident.
And diving into the details with Julia Fellow.
I had them growing up in my school. I felt like it was a relationship building. You got to know the officers. They got to know the community better.
Tune in to Wisconsin's afternoon news, where your day's story unfolds. Weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. Only here on WTMJ.
Traffic is sponsored by the famous Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill.
Buy one dinner, get one free tonight at the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club, including steak and lobster. And desserts are buy one, get one free. Tables are open, foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 5 o'clock-ish. I'm John Mercure. This is Wisconsin's Afternoon News. Your top story, 2 Milwaukee Public Schools lead-free.
I'm Julia Fellow. A troubling political trend takes off.
I'm Debbie Laziga. Southbound on 43. A hefty ride from just south of Capitol Drive, and it does not let up until you get down to the KK River crossing, so be prepared for that. On the northbound side, slowing down just before the Marquette all the way up to Keefe. Westbound 94 riders, that's backed up out of the Marquette all the way to about 68th Street. Beyond that, west of Highway 100, heading into Waukesha County, is going to be slow again till you get to about Sunny Slope Road. On the eastbound side, you got backups from Highway F all the way through the Barker Road area past Brookfield Road. Back on the brakes from 84th Street all the way to 27th. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The wind advisory goes into effect at 7 o'clock tonight for all of southeast Wisconsin. Gusts could hit 45 miles an hour. A little bit of snow for most of us. A few inches north and west of the city, a low of 30 degrees. Tomorrow becoming mostly sunny and windy, a high of 40 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, efforts to remove lead dust from 2 Milwaukee public schools have wrapped up. The Milwaukee Health Department announcing this afternoon that both Golda Meir Lower Campus and Maryland Avenue Montessori have passed their clearance checks for lead dust. Both schools reached a safety standard and no more remediation will be done. MHD is continuing working with MPS on removing lead dust from 12 other schools. Starnes Early Childhood Center, Fernwood Montessori, and La Follette School remain closed as lead cleanup continues.
Decision Wisconsin. The candidates for Wisconsin Supreme Court joined WTMJ's Political Power Hour. One of the questions about Act 10.
And who would need to recuse from the latest lawsuit challenging the law? Waukesha County Judge Brad Schimmel says he wasn't involved back in 2014.
That issue was decided before I was ever Attorney General. I was elected in 2014. I took the oath of office in January 2015.
Dane County Judge Susan Crawford says she would take a close look at recusing.
If there were a challenge to the same provisions we were looking at back then and the same type of legal challenge.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Toxic masculinity and troubling behaviors made by young men is having an influence on politics. UW-Madison professor of public affairs and expert on violence against women, Mariel Barnes, tells WTMJ spanning the state how comments made by politicians has made more men express their hatred for women.
A lot of the stuff that we see in the political system nowadays, like kind of hate, a lot of times hatred of women has become mainstream, and I think that emboldens young men to express that hatred more.
Barnes says the rise in online content has resulted in more outspoken behaviors in the real world.
Stocks surged after the Federal Reserve maintained its forecast for 2 rate cuts in 2025. CBS News business reporter Jason Brooks.
Fed Chair Jerome Powell told the press conference that it's going to be difficult to precisely calculate how much impact tariffs will have on inflation. But with Fed members still projecting 2 rate cuts this year, that indicates that the Fed isn't expecting inflation to accelerate much higher. The Fed lowered its economic growth forecast in 2025 to 1.7% GDP from its prior forecast of 2.1%. And while Powell said there's always a possibility of a recession at any time and that the chance of a recession may have risen, but not by much.
The Fed maintained the federal funds rate at 4.25 to 4.5%.
With spring officially starting tomorrow, the spread of allergies will be more prevalent in the Milwaukee area. Aurora Healthcare immunologist and allergist Dr. Monica Yasudev shares some symptom prevention tips on WTMJ's The Upswing.
To minimize exposure to those pollens, and how do we do that? One is we stay indoors, we keep the windows closed, we turn on the air conditioning. If we do go outdoors, then we come back in, take a shower, wash our hair, change our clothes, minimize the amount of pollens that's on us as we come home.
Common causes for allergies can include tree pollen, grass pollen, flower pollen, and weeds.
Marquette takes off tonight at their highly anticipated matchup in Cleveland for the NCAA tournament. Head coach Shaka Smart tells WTMJ his message to fans.
The great thing about being at Marquette is we have a lot of loyal fans that have been, with us if it's an open scrimmage in August in the Al. So just grateful for everybody that's here, that supports us, and we're going to go after making you proud.
The Marquette Golden Eagles will take on New Mexico State Friday night at 6:25.
Coming up, a positive indicator for women's sports.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:04.
Get 0% interest for up to 72 months. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Being a Pella consultant means helping people build their dreams.
For Jenna, helping others find joy is so rewarding. It's why we love to do what we do.
I enjoy simplifying the process for the customer, taking the time to listen, and finding the right solution.
Randy understands that everyone's situation is different, so we don't just slap together cookie-cutter solutions.
Customers really appreciate just how prepared we are, all the samples, the videos, pictures.
Jake arrives at your free in-home consultation with pre-prepared materials to fully envision your dream Pella build.
We're with you from start to finish. You literally have a friend from beginning to end and beyond with your project.
Whether you're working with Ryan or another Pella consultant, we don't go away after the sale. We're ready with anything you may need before, during, and after installation. And right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, get 0% interest for up to 72 months. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply in 3/31/2025.
WTMJ News Time, 5:05.
Women's sports are getting richer.
Here comes Clark. How will she go for history?
A new report from Deloitte predicts global revenues from women's sports will rise to $2.35 billion this year. That would be a 54% increase from last year. Women's basketball and soccer make up most of the revenues.
Can Macario gets her first goal for the U.S. in almost 3 years?
Deloitte says women's sports have proven their value. Now they need to work on building a lasting legacy of success. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call. That's all. Sports Desk. The Bucks have dropped 5 of their last 7 games. A 5-game Western Conference road trip continues tomorrow night against the Lakers. And the Packers are signing 27-year-old veteran wide receiver Mecole Hardman to a 1-year contract, according to ESPN.
He's a low-risk, high-reward guy. He doesn't cost as much as Devontae Adams would have. This makes a lot of sense, and we'll see if it pays off.
That's ESPN Wisconsin's Jason Wilde. Hardman is also an experienced and accomplished punt and kick returner.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:06.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert, owner of Wisconsin's own AccuNet Mortgage. I get that most home shoppers just go with their bank when it comes to getting pre-approved, but that's probably a mistake because banks have a lot of overhead, like branches, fancy headquarters, and layers of management. That means their closing costs are typically $1,000 to $3,000 higher than AccuNet's for exactly the same rate. And that's not all. Bank pre-approval letters are usually weak and unconvincing, especially compared to AccuNet's rock-solid, fully verified pre-approval that provides a $2,000 guarantee to you and the seller. Our senior loan consultants will also look at every possible way to strengthen your offer and pre-approval in the eyes of that seller, especially if you're offering over the asking price. We even call the listing agent to reinforce what a great buyer you are. Banks don't do all that. Click on the blue button today at AccuNet.com and let our passionate mortgage pros help you win while you save a bunch of money, too. That's ACCUNET.com.
When I shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, every time I come in, it's like a whole new store. It's because new inventory is arriving daily, all kinds of everything. And let me tell you, thrift store prices make buying easy. And helping others at the same time, that's icing on the cake. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano talking with Dr. Mike Nolte at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Doc, a lot of people are hesitant to visit a surgeon for spine care.
The good news is that the vast majority of patients that I see and the majority of conditions that I can see can be successfully treated without surgery. And I don't want patients to think that just because you're seeing a spine surgeon means that you're going to be signing up for surgery. We talk about, in my clinic, kind of a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C.
Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. OrthoWisconsin.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
So happy you're with us at 5:09. Man, that rain's going to turn to snow pretty quick,
yeah.
John.
It's been coming down out there, too. It's been really, really rainy.
There was hail reported in Madison.
Yeah, that's not fun if your car gets better.
No, not at all. I wanted to tell you about this story that every newsroom in Milwaukee has been talking about. It's about what's been going on in a Milwaukee home near 31st and State. Police say has a sex dungeon and women are being held against their will by 38-year-old homeowner Austin Chronister. Prosecutors lay out the accusations, with him now facing charges that includes human trafficking and sexual assault. So the court records show the abuse dates back 7 years, accusing him of luring women online, lying to them that he's into BDSM, and then once they come to his home, they find out that most sex acts are not consensual. And so I was reading the evidence, prosecutors say, I audibly screamed, oh my goodness, so many times. So here it is. He lived with up to 4 women, according to court records, at one time. At least 2 have came forward to police to say what happened to them was a crime. And this is why he's facing charges that could put him behind bars for more than 100 years. So court records say Chronister requires the women to sign a contract as soon as they arrive. It's full of lewd requests like sex on demand. They're required to wear a collar at all times while in the house, which reads House of Pierre. The criminal complaint also says Chronister requires the women to be branded with a, quote, slave tattoo. It's of a beetle holding a poppy flower, and each victim has, quote, a slave number. Prosecutors say the victims then learn they're not allowed to say no to sex parties with the suspect's friends and family.
Oh, wow, that's weird.
And the search warrant revealed there are currently security cameras peppered throughout the entire interior of this house, which says something in the search warrant that they'll probably try to get the evidence of that if it's recorded. The search warrant also talks about the contents investigators were looking for in the basement, which was called a sex dungeon. The details are just too graphic to share. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, yeah. It's bad.
What if a woman refuses to do any of this, you may ask? The search warrant lays out what victims say is Chronister's signature move, choking them. One victim says she'd be choked until she said, I love you.
Ugh.
And what may be the hardest to hear of all of this is that one of the victims actually walked into District 3 police headquarters 5 years ago, told a detective about what I just said, adding that if she disobeyed, he had just threatened her that he would inject her with a substance that would be lethal.
Oh, my gosh.
And at one point, she said, when she stood up after an argument with him recently, he jabbed her with a needle in her right arm and exclaimed, I win.
Oh, my God. That's terrifying.
She was okay.
Ugh.
But it took until last year before the investigation really got going, with at least 2 women living in the home saying they are being beaten, raped, held against their will. So who is the suspect outside the home, Austin Chronister? He's a licensed real estate agent. He's now behind bars, the last time I checked before the show started, on a $75,000 bond.
That's not very much. That's what he's accused of. And that woman who got jabbed in the arm, she's okay, like physically? Can you imagine how traumatized she is, though?
And also, that was in 2020.
Yeah.
So you know how it was like the COVID era and how extremely strange that must have been for her being jabbed.
So this has been going on for like over 5 years with this guy?
7 years.
Oh, my gosh. How do you get away with it for 7 years?
That's what I was thinking.
That is a terrifying story.
They were all adults.
Right.
The latest argument was about a 19-year-old about to come into the home. And she was married, a married 19-year-old.
Oh.
And then there was a beating that took place, according to court records, which kind of got all of this going quickly with a search warrant and getting him behind bars.
If the allegations are true, that is atrocious.
Yes.
That's awful. It's 5:13 at WTMJ.
Hey Bucks fans, it's Justin Garcia from the Bucks Radio Network, here to tell you about the launch of the Bucks Central podcast feed. Everything Bucks, on demand, in one spot. From sideline to sideline, hear all the ankle-breaking, rim-rattling, and twine-tingling highlights, exclusive interviews, and more. Subscribe to the Bucks Central podcast feed wherever you get your podcasts. All the Bucks content your heart desires in one spot. Check out the Bucks Central podcast feed.
Hey, pretty soon we're going to be out in the yard. I am super excited to be out in the yard because my yard's in fantastic shape thanks to Landworks Wisconsin. Had it redone by Landworks last year. They came up with the landscape plan. We told them some of the plants we really like and some that are like, yeah, I'm not hot about that. And then they put it into the yard. They'll take your yard and make it beautiful, take your beautiful yard and take it to the next level. It's Landworks Wisconsin. They're different at Landworks because of their incredible customer service. From the crew to the salesperson to the admin team, you're in good hands always with Landworks. Big project, small project, they'll do your project big time. LandworksWisconsin.com, local company, great company, LandworksWisconsin.com.
Wherever you are in Wisconsin, there's a free and confidential Aging and Disability Resource Center, ADRC, or Tribal Partner Agency. We're here for older adults, adults with disabilities, and your families. ADRCs are a bridge to support for benefits and financial assistance, transportation, in-home care, and more. Get to know your local ADRC and connect with resources today. Call toll-free 1-844-WIS-ADRC or go to findmyadrc.org. Paid for by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Moms, dads, grandparents, aunts, and uncles. WTMJ's Julia Fellow. No gatekeeping here. I want to tell you about Just Between Friends Milwaukee County. Get your tickets now at milwaukeecounty.jbfsale.com. It's a pop-up marketplace for you to buy and consign gently used infant all the way up to teen clothing and children's gear. You'll find up to 90% off the retail price. It's happening April 11th through the 13th at Wisconsin State Fair Park's Expo Center in West Allis. Head to milwaukeecounty.jbfsale.com.
Traffic and weather, Debbie Lazaga. Hey, Deb.
Hey there, John. It's a slow ride on 41 southbound from Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. Then more delays coming out of the Zoo interchange down towards Lincoln and around the Hale interchange to get onto 894 eastbound. Now, on the northbound side, we've got backups from about Wisconsin Avenue all the way up past Burleigh, almost to Capitol Drive. Then you're back on the brakes just north of Capitol all the way up past Silver Spring. Westbound 94, we got some backups from about 16th Street all the way through to Hawley Road. On the eastbound side, we got the right lane blocked right at 35th Street with a broken down vehicle. Those delays kick in right at 84th Street. They're solid all the way to that 35th Street area. Take that back a step. In Waukesha County, we've got delays from just past Springdale Road all the way through to Moreland. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, rain and snow, a little bit of snow, maybe an inch or two near us. It could be 2 or 3 inches north and west of the city, a low of 29 degrees. Tomorrow, breezy, clearing skies, a high of 41. Friday, an isolated shower late in the day, a high of 54. Saturday is colder, a high of 38. Sunday, a rain-snow mix, a high of 42. Right now, it is raining its butt off outside. It is 37 degrees. You didn't know rain had a butt, did you?
No, I did not.
Yeah. Hey, let's bring in Major Garrett, CBS's chief Washington correspondent. He's got a couple of incredible books out. He's busy all the time. He sleeps 1.5 hours a night. Major, thank you for being with us. That's on a good sleep night.
I don't want to deceive people. I sleep a lot more than that. I actually, having reached the very, and I mean this, the tender age of 62, I make sure to get my sleep in, because if I don't, I really can't function. So I get much more than an hour and a half.
Me too. Seriously, that's something I don't cheat on because I'm just no good. Hey, Major, I wanted to ask you about the situation with Putin and Trump, because Trump kind of muscled Zelensky into accepting this sort of parameters of a deal without him being at the table. Then he presented a deal to Putin. And the reporting is that Putin said, I'm not doing all that. I'm going to do it my way. And he said, I won't hit energy targets or infrastructure. Does that mean that kindergartens and hospitals are still on the table? I want you to talk about the difference, Major, between how we handled Zelensky, and I say us meaning the United States, and how he responded, and now how Putin is behaving.
So the president is very clear about this, and you don't have to read tea leaves or parse dense diplomatic jargon. The president said Russia holds the cards, Ukraine doesn't. Ukraine came back into the fold, but that still doesn't mean President Trump's overall poker game assessment has changed. It hasn't. Russia has more cards, has more materiel, more personnel, more military clout, and can do ultimately what it wants. Trump wants to end the war, but he knows Putin has more to call upon to continue that war. So, in this phone call, they covered a lot of ground. To answer your direct question, yes, all other civilian targets are still open to the Russians. What the president has said and what his administration officials have said today is, we want them to lay off and avoid permanently energy structures within Ukraine because we'd like to have some sponsorship of it, suggesting that that's a way to not only help Ukraine long term, but to repel the Russians in the future. That's the whole Trump orientation. If we're going to give you some sort of implied security guarantee, we want skin in the game, not just diplomatically, not just morally, but economically. One other point I would say is Russia said in its readout, which is what they do, both nations do a readout of the call, that Russia's still not interested in the United States providing technical intelligence assistance to Ukraine or continued military assistance. The administration, the Trump administration, said we're keeping both going. So Trump did not backtrack or allow himself to be pushed off of that by Putin, which is a possibly encouraging sign. The war continues. Russia still has more cards than Ukraine, but the talks continue. And Trump is realizing, I think very clearly, that if he is viewed in America, in Europe, and in Moscow as someone who's been bulldozed, it will not do well for his presidency or his image as a global strongman. So these negotiations not only hold a lot of potential and risk for Ukraine, there's a not insubstantial amount of risk, political and otherwise, for the president.
Major, how did the conversation go between the president and Zelensky today?
Well, the White House put out a very effusive statement. Oh, it was great, and Zelensky admired the president's strong leadership. They said that like in 3 or 4 different ways in 5 or 6 different sentences.
Really?
Yes. Oh, yeah. You should read the statement put out by the White House. I mean, it's really, even by this White House's standards, really self-congratulatory. Zelensky was not as effusive, but he said, look, we've covered important ground. We need the technical assistance on intelligence. We want to keep the flow of military assistance coming. And Trump said they need missile defense, Patriot systems. I'll look for them first in Europe. Always saying the Europeans, if you really care about this, you step up first, we'll back you up. The important thing for the Ukrainians is they need protections from missiles and drones, and the Patriot system help them in that. And Trump is now on the record saying, we're going to find them for you. So in the main, as I said before, and as the president says so often, Ukraine is the weaker of the 2 negotiating parts here. And the United States is only going to help them when it gets something more than diplomacy and the moral high ground out of it. It wants some business transacted that helps the U.S. as part of it.
CBS's Major Garrett is with us. Check him out on all the CBS platforms. Hey, Major, the JFK files are being released. How many of the 80,000 pages have you read?
Not one, because I've got so many other things going, and there are so many legal challenges. More than 100 lawsuits filed against the Trump administration for executive orders and actions, and keeping track of those is a day-to-day, real-time, news of the day obligation of mine. And we had a whole reading team that stayed up until 11 o'clock last night Eastern, going through it, about 7 different people, producers and otherwise.
Wow.
And like a lot of other news organizations and experts who are deeply immersed in the JFK story, not much new. Some things that had been redacted were now unredacted, but they didn't shed any new light, so far as I can tell, on what happened and who was or wasn't involved.
So nothing really sexy.
So far, no. So the 2 things in the sort of atmosphere or context of transparency that kind of a lot of Trump supporters thought might be explosive and full of bombshells, Epstein files and JFK files, so far, not much at all.
Then why was it kept under wraps for so long?
That wasn't already known.
Why was it kept under wraps for so long? Why did people fight so hard for this not to be released through the years?
There are two answers to that. One is the federal government, and this started during the Cold War, and it continued through the global war on terrorism. The federal government overclassifies. Every president believes this, but they like to stick with it because their predecessor did. They don't want to rattle cages. The intel community's always like, well, when in doubt, classify. Well, as a journalist and as an American citizen, I think that there's always been a feverish overclassification of things. And with JFK, there's just been a sense that, look, this was among the most, if not the most, traumatic event of the modern media era in our country. The assassination of a president, the funeral, everything covered, and then Jack Ruby's death, and just all that sort of stuff. Lee Harvey Oswald's death at the hand of Jack Ruby, rather. It's just so traumatic. And there's a Warren Commission report. All the things that are relevant have been out. And there's just a tendency to hold back things that haven't yet been released because they haven't been released. It's just inertia.
Major Garrett is CBS's chief Washington correspondent. We always appreciate you being with us, Major. Thank you so much.
We'll talk next week.
All right. Sounds like a plan. It is 5:24 WTMJ. Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Feds hold rates steady today, and the markets liked what Jerome Powell had to say. The Dow was up 383 points, almost 1%. The NASDAQ was up 247. That's almost 1.5%. And the S&P 500 on the day was up 60 points. That is more than 1%. Annex Wealth Management is financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com.
Brewers opening day is coming up on Monday, March 31st against the Royals. Be here for the first crack of the bat, the first pop of the glove, and that first taste of summer as we celebrate the start of a new season. The party starts pregame with live entertainment and a national anthem performance by singer-songwriter Allison Mahal. Plus, get here early for a special pregame tribute to Bob Uecker. You don't want to miss out on one of the biggest days in baseball. Get your seats for opening day now at Brewers.com.
Elevate your daily routine with a Luxstone shower from Kohler Services. Hi, everybody. Debbie Loziga here. And Kohler's premium crushed stone showers offer amazing beauty and durability. I was able to get my hands on some of that Luxstone crushed stone materials, and I can attest to the exceptional quality. They're gorgeous. And their team is super knowledgeable and professional. Think of it. You can enjoy the luxury of a new shower without breaking the bank. And this month only, get $1,000 off and no payment financing until 2026 on your Luxstone shower remodel. Schedule your design consultation at Visit Kohler Services. Actually, the website is KohlerServicesWI.com.
Are you looking for a new car or truck? Well, good news. Inventories have really improved lately, and I have a few ideas to help you find the vehicle of your dreams. I'm Jim Token, president of Adam, the Auto Dealers Association of Metro Milwaukee. The first step to getting that car of your dreams is to visit any of the 115 Adam member dealerships, where you can see their selection in person and take test drives. You can also find out about the new cars they have on order and reserve the one you want. Or if you really want to get the exact car you're dreaming of, they can order it for you. It might take a few weeks for delivery, but hey, wouldn't it be nice to have the perfect vehicle built just for you? This is your chance. Plus, if you're thinking of trading in your current car or ending your lease early, you'll be amazed at what dealers are offering. And if you prefer to handle the negotiations and paperwork remotely, no problem. Most Adam dealers will even bring cars to you for test drives. So don't wait. Start your search now. Find an Adam member dealer near you at adamm.com.
The deeper the hole, the more damage you're going to cause, especially if you're driving around with low tire pressure.
We're talking about potholes, and if you're not careful, they'll spring up out of nowhere and bite you right in the keister.
We've fixed broken ball joints, broken control arms, blown struts, damaged wheel alignments.
You name it, we've fixed it. That wheel alignment is an adjustment of your suspension, which is a system that connects your car to its wheels.
And when your alignment's off, you get uneven, premature tire wear, and we have a fix for that too.
If a pothole is bitten you where it hurts, come to Richlands for a professional evaluation by one of our ASE certified technicians.
And at the very least, we'll make sure you have the right amount of air pressure in your tires.
And remember, be safe, buckle up, and hey, always make sure you've got good tread on your tires. I'm Brett Matchke with Richlands. Your
Do It For Service.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richlands Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlands.
Welcome to The Knowledge Brokers, weekly feature covering the dynamics of the insurance market, how it affects Wisconsin businesses, and those of us who live here. Sponsored by the original Knowledge Broker, R&R Insurance. Joining us today, Jeff Salazinski, Vice President of Insurance Operations. Well, the last few months, we have had a lot of newsworthy events with an insurance angle kind of to each of them. The stream of events should remind all of us the importance of properly designed insurance programs. Jeff, tell us what you're seeing.
Thanks, Vince. Great to be here. Yes, 2025 is already off to an ominous start. A cyber data breach impacting over 60 million students and teachers, with dozens of Wisconsin districts impacted. Natural catastrophes continue to increase in both frequency and severity of damages. Although Wisconsin fared better than many states, this is no time to be complacent.
So, Jeff, why is that important to people who are listening right now?
Vince, while these events are destructive and expensive, they can be insured against quite easily. When these issues are ignored or handled improperly, they can change your life, drain your resources, maybe destroy your business. Quite simply, a properly designed insurance program has never been more relevant nor more important than today. If you're not getting good guidance from your insurance provider and they're uninformed on these issues, you're jeopardizing your assets, your business, and maybe your future.
A lot of options for insurance out there, Jeff. Why should families or businesses work with R&R Insurance?
Thanks, Vince. You know, we deliver thought leadership around asset protection. It's what we do best. We inform you of where the market opportunities are today. We work with you to best position your account or your company for review by an underwriter. And R&R can get multiple companies competing for your account. It'll cost you nothing to sit down with R&R Insurance. If you're looking for a better insurance purchasing experience, we'd love to sit down and speak with you. At R&R Insurance, we know business insurance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
Traffic is sponsored by the all-new Burghardt Sporting Goods.
The all-new Burghardt Sporting Goods, the Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center in New Berlin and Fox Point.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 5:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, wrapping up efforts to remove lead dust.
I'm Julia Fellow, setting expectations on and off the court.
I'm Debbie Laziga, still dealing with a broken down vehicle stuck in the right lane at 35th Street on 94 eastbound. So that means we've got backups all the way back to the Zoo interchange with this. On the westbound side, I don't know if it's the wet roads or folks slowing down to take a peekaboo, but we've got delays basically out of the Marquette all the way to Hawley Road. Southbound 41, heavy from south of Appleton Avenue down past Capitol Drive. And then on southbound 43, slow from Keefe down through the Marquette to the KK River. Northbound, slow out of the Marquette all the way up to Keefe. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Wind and snow advisories and a winter weather advisory for Ozaukee, Sheboygan, Fond du Lac, and Dodge counties. Rain expected to turn into snow. We could see up to 2 inches in the Milwaukee area. More totals further north. The low will be 29 degrees.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, efforts to remove lead dust from 2 Milwaukee public schools have wrapped up. The Milwaukee Health Department announcing this afternoon that both Golda Meir and Maryland Avenue Montessori have passed their clearance checks for lead dust. MHD is continuing working with MPS on removing lead dust from 12 other schools. Starms Early Childhood Center, Fernwood Montessori, and La Follette School remain closed as lead cleanup continues.
In Madison, a bill that would undo an overhaul of how Wisconsin measures a student's academic achievement has been sent to Governor Evers' desk.
There are 18 ayes, 14 noes, and the bill is concurred in.
It would require the State Department of Public Instruction to overhaul its state report cards to match how they were measured before. And while it's unclear whether the governor will sign or not, he has criticized the process that State Superintendent Jill Underley took to change the report cards.
Decision Wisconsin. The 2 judges running for Wisconsin Supreme Court step up to the microphone on WTMJ's Political Power Hour. Dane County Judge Susan Crawford on the U.S. Supreme Court's Dobbs decision.
I disagree with it strenuously. I think it is the first time ever that the United States Supreme Court has thrown out a precedent that, and a nearly 50-year-old precedent with Roe versus Wade, that recognized constitutional rights.
Waukesha County Judge Brad Schimmel.
That's a decision of the United States Supreme Court. It's not for me to support or deny. It is the law of the land. It's for me to follow the law of the land.
Schimmel does support leaving in place Wisconsin's 1849 law banning abortion without exceptions.
The Federal Reserve decided to keep interest rates the same for now. The decision comes amid back and forth on the stock market over President Donald Trump's changing positions on tariffs. Fed Chair Jerome Powell says despite the uncertainty caused by the tariffs, the economy is still in a good place.
Given where we are, we think our policy is in a good place to react to what comes, and we think that the right thing to do is to wait here for greater clarity about what the economy is doing.
Analysts expect the Fed to change rates at some point later this year.
A federal judge has extended the Justice Department's deadline until tomorrow to give details on the Alien Enemies Act flights. Or the DOJ can assert a state secrets privilege. News Nation's Kelly Meyer.
The Justice Department said in its filing that they are currently evaluating whether to invoke that state secrets privilege. That would mean blocking the court's access from the information, claiming that it's a national security issue. But the D.C. District Court fired back in a statement to the DOJ saying they are looking for this information not as a, quote, micromanaged and unnecessary judicial fishing expedition, end quote, slamming what the Justice Department had said about the case. But they say they're trying to determine if President Trump defied the court, and if so, what the consequences should be.
The judge had blocked Trump from invoking the act last week and ordered deportation flights to turn around, but those flights kept going.
The president's policies are impacting tributes to some notable Americans.
President Trump set out to end diversity, equity, and inclusion policies in the government, said in January.
I think DEI is dead, so if they want to scrub the website, that's okay with me.
The Pentagon scrubbed a website highlighting Jackie Robinson's World War II service before he broke baseball's color barrier. After questions from our partners at ESPN, the Defense Department restored the Robinson website Wednesday afternoon. A Pentagon spokesman said the department loves Jackie Robinson. Brian Clark, ABC News.
The Great Lakes cruise industry expects to see more than 22,000 passengers this year.
That's 10% higher than last year. It's one more sign that cruising the Great Lakes is growing in popularity.
Yeah, it's been kind of like this dark horse little secret thing that people are like, wow, this is a lot more fun. And so the cruise ships are surprised by how fast these things are selling out. And so you're seeing just pretty quick growth across the industry.
Dan Hartman is a member of Cruise the Great Lakes, the region's marketing program focused on attracting more passengers. He says Milwaukee plays a big role.
Your Port of Milwaukee and your Milwaukee Visitor Bureau is one of the leaders of the whole Great Lakes Initiative.
Jessica Tai, WTMJ News.
Marquette is headed to Cleveland for the highly anticipated matchup in the NCAA tournament. Head coach Shaka Smart.
Our definition of leadership is to make those around you better. So if there's anyone that we don't hold to that standard, then why are they here? You know, we all need to be making each other better, starting with the coaching staff and going through all the players.
The Golden Eagles will take on New Mexico State Friday at 6:25.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. The Bucks have dropped 5 of their last 7 games and are in an offensive funk, according to head coach Doc Rivers. 5-game Western Conference road trip continues tomorrow against the Lakers. The Brewers are on the field against the White Sox in Arizona, and the Cubs fall to 0-2 in the regular season after a 6-3 loss to the Dodgers in Japan. Plus, the Packers are signing 27-year-old veteran wide receiver Merkel Hardeman to a 1-year contract, according to ESPN.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time approaching 5:37.
Amazon Business offers smart business buying solutions, so you can spend more time growing your business and less time doing the admin. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. We've been in our place for 23 years. We built the house, built it exactly how we wanted. We love it, but it's time to refresh it and update it. Pella's helping us. We're putting in a new sliding door that goes out onto the patio and deck where we spend a lot of time, and also replacing the front window. It's going to be stunning. It's going to be beautiful. We started by going to the Experience Center. It's like a showroom, but much, much better. It's out there in Brookfield. Gina Della met us out there. Her team's incredible, and with everything you get the Pella experience. Quality control. Pella manufactures, sells, and installs every single product. The 10-year labor warranty. Pella is the best in the business. It's Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Their expert installers are available year-round. This weather doesn't matter. They'll come out and do it, sometimes in as little as a day. It's Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and do it now because they've got an incredible deal going on. 0 interest for up to 6 years. 0 interest for 6 years on brand new Pella Windows and Doors. You buy the stuff, and you have 6 years to pay it off, and you have no interest at a cruise. None. Certain restrictions apply. Ends March 31st. Set your free in-home consultation today. Check them out at PellaWI.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky is with us. Hello, Niz.
Yo, what's going on, guys?
Hey, we're going to talk about the heavy weather headed here in just a second coming up. But first, I wanted to ask you if you saw that there is a Wisconsin city that made the list put out by the National Weather Service of the 10 snowiest cities in America.
Oh.
So you give me a guess. It's a city of more than 1,000 people. That was part of the criteria. What do you think would be on the list?
Hurley?
Oh, my God, you win!
Yeah.
No way.
Nailed it.
Yeah, they're right. Hurley's right on the edge of that Lake Superior lake effect snow belt. There's a spot up there that just gets monsters amount of snow. So I was thinking of any community that, once I knew 1,000, threshold, then I nailed it down.
Nice job, Niz. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the top ones in America, that's number 8. 7 is Terra Alta, West Virginia. 6 is Leeds, South Dakota. Number 5 is Marquette in the UP.
Yep.
Number 4 is Crested Butte, Colorado. Number 3 is Truckee, California. Number 2 is Sherman, New York. I meant to look this up. I'm assuming that's where they get all the lake effect snow, maybe.
Yep, I would imagine, yep.
By Buffalo, maybe?
Number 1, Julia nailed the state. It's Valdez, Alaska. And they get more than 100 inches more than the second closest city. They get 325 inches of snow annually.
Jeez, oh, that's crazy. Yeah, they got a good mix there of like not being. You don't want to be like in one of the coldest places in Alaska because they tend to be drier. It's just like bone cold, dry. You got to be in still an active spot where you're getting Pacific moisture and obviously cold enough for snow. So, yeah, I mean it's.
So
Milwaukee doesn't.
Yeah, the list
where do
says,
we stand?
Niz, that Milwaukee averages 48 inches of snow a year, is what this list says.
Yep.
Hurley gets 155 a year. Valdez gets 325.
Oh my goodness!
That's incredible.
That's a lot of snow. Yeah, that's crazy amount of snow. That's snow that like you can build tunnels to your neighbor's house and like the snow slopes on the rooftops and stuff. You know, when you hear about all those big lake effect snows in Buffalo, I mean, they tend. So you would think Buffalo would be on the list, and I'm sure that other town in New York is part of the snow belt, but they tend to be in a spot where, yes, if the lake effect snow machine is on, they get absolutely dumped on, but then they might not get much snow the rest of the season. Or maybe it's a year that the lake effect snow machine, the wind doesn't work out. So there could be times when they get 30 inches of snow in one swoop, but then they might not go with snow for several more months.
That's interesting. Such an interesting dynamic. And it's really interesting by us right now, Niz. I went out for lunch. It was raining really, really heavy, and it seems like most of the day we got pounded.
Yeah, on and off showers and storms. There were some rumbles of thunder with this last batch that moved through, even some small hail being reported across southeastern Wisconsin. I got a lot of pictures and videos. And now we're watching another batch of rain moving in from the south. Now, this one was severe at one point, but it's encountering our cooler, more stable air mass. And I don't think we're looking at any chance for severe weather anymore here in southeastern Wisconsin, but maybe just some small hail. And then I would say after 7 o'clock, we'll start to see a change over to some snow. And even here in Milwaukee, we could end up with 1 to 2 inches of snow.
Ooh, all right. So what about north and west? Could they get more?
Yeah, so locations like Fond du Lac, West Bend, even into Ozaukee County, Port Washington, up to Sheboygan, under a winter weather advisory. And those are the locations that could see 3-4 inches of snow tonight. So enough that there's going to be some shoveling needed and certainly some slippery roads.
Have you heard about the hail in Madison and what may happen at the Illinois border?
I saw some hail in Madison, very small hail that I did see, but a lot of it. Is that what you're hearing as well?
Pea-sized, and that there could be hail at the Illinois border, according to the National Weather Service, but maybe not.
Yeah, watching that same batch of storms that's moving in right now from the south. However, like the actual hail that's above an inch diameter, likely going to stay way south of the area. But yes, even with that batch that's down by the state line that's moving in, could give us some very small.
Julia has a fear of hail.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was traumatized when I lived in Madison. There's a really bad hailstorm. It was hideous.
Did you get hit? Would you
it
like
was
your
dinging
car
my
get messed
car.
up?
Yeah, it was dinging my car and my future husband's car, and we were. I had a second car. So we were going, trying to get into under something. It was so stressful.
I'm the opposite. I've gotten nailed really, really bad with some big hailstones, doing things that I probably tell people on air not to do, like when I was a kid, like going out there trying to gather hailstones. I love it. I've caught some really good ones on the top of my head, too, and some welts. But, yeah,
you try to take a picture of them, but it immediately melts.
Yeah.
Yep. Nothing of the sort of that size this evening. But if you do get under one of these good downpours, you could get some very small hail that adds up, like accumulates, almost like sleet. So watch out for that.
All right, Niz. So tonight, in the next 5 days, what are we looking at? Walk us through it.
Yeah. So, we get that rain to snow tonight. Again, I think here in Milwaukee, we're changed over by 8, 9 o'clock. And 1 to 2 inches of snow, 2 to 4 inches north. Becoming mostly sunny tomorrow, a high of 40. I think when most people get going tomorrow morning, the roads will be just mainly wet. As we head on into Friday, partly cloudy skies with a chance of showers Friday night, a high of 53. Saturday, mostly sunny, 38. And then Sunday, another round of rain and snow and a high temperature of 40 degrees. So we officially turn to spring tonight at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Oh.
And the forecast really does not look like it at all.
All right. Chief Meteorologist Brian Niznansky. Niz, you're going to have a busy night. Thanks for keeping us safe.
All the elements tonight, guys.
Yep. It is 5:44 at WTMJ.
Explore outdoor living this Saturday from Eric Brown, the president of Outdoor Living Unlimited. He knows his stuff. They expand your living space with decks, patios, fire pits, even outdoor kitchens, and can show you a virtual reality of it all for starters. Outdoor Living Unlimited did a great job at the Matzik household. We love it. So listen and call Eric this Saturday on WTMJ's Fix It Show and check out OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Wisconsin's Morning News is here for you every weekday morning starting at 6 a.m. Vince Petrano.
Milwaukee Public Schools begin the week with more lead remediation, a new superintendent, and a court-ordered deadline.
Eric Billstad.
March in Wisconsin means snowfall and wildfires can happen just days apart.
And traffic with Debbie Loziga.
We've got eastbound 94 closed in Jefferson County.
The news you need to know. Wisconsin's Morning News on WTMJ.
Let me tell you about Dave Drakamp. They are quite simply the best in the business. I've been with Dave Drakamp for a very long time because I trust them when they're in my house. They just take great care of me. They're going to take care of you like that, too. Right now, it's that time of year when we count down the days until spring starts and stops. Are we on the third spring, the fourth spring? Then another day of winter comes in. You know, we're at that right now. It's even possible to have weeks in spring when you use both your furnace and your air conditioner. Get on the schedule with Dave Drakamp today. Whether you just nursed an old furnace through another winter or are counting down the days to consistent warmer spring weather, now's the time to give my friends at Dave Drakamp a call. They're not pushy salespeople who come into your house and try to talk you into buying a new system. Nuh-uh, trust me. When they suggest something like that, it's time to retire your old home comfort system. I've used Drakamp for checkups. I've used them for routine maintenance when I've needed a repair and to buy a new system. They're professional, kind, and honest. That's why we've welcomed them into our home for so many years. With Dave Drakamp, you get peace of mind knowing that your home will always remain comfortable. Call today. It's Dave Drakamp.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news, online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here for Just Between Friends, Milwaukee County. I want to share this with parents and grandparents. Their big spring sale is coming up, a chance to buy everything you can think of from your growing children at an affordable price. Learn more at milwaukeecounty.jbfsale.com. You will find gently used infant through teen clothing, books, toys, sporting equipment at up to 90% off the retail price. Everything safety checked, happening Friday, April 11th through Sunday, April 13th. Pre-sale tickets April 10th if you get the first look. It's amazing. At the Wisconsin State Fair Park's Expo Center in West Allis, put on by a mother-daughter duo. Just talking to them this past weekend, they can't wait to help you beat inflation. Just Between Friends Milwaukee County Spring Sale. Get tickets now at milwaukeecounty.jbfsale.com. That's milwaukeecounty.jbfsale.com.
Men's wedding bands made from whiskey barrels and meteorites.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Let's get you where you need to safely with Debbie Loziga.
Okay, well, we still have that ramp closed from southbound 94 to the airport spur. So if you are going to the airport, just keep in mind we've got that. All those lanes of that ramp are blocked with some debris. So you'll need to exit at Layton and then take that east to Howell Avenue. Then you can get to the airport on Howell Avenue. So that'll be the easiest way to go. As far as delays are concerned, they're still there. Yep, we got southbound 43 backing up from about Locust all the way down to the KK River. Northbound slow from the Marquette up to Keefe. Westbound 94, that's backed up from 27th to Mitchell Boulevard. On the eastbound side, we got delays from just before 84th Street all the way through past 35th. Southbound 41, a heavy ride from Silver Spring down to Capitol. Northbound's from Mayfair Road up past Burleigh. And then on the bypass, heading southbound, you've got delays from Beloit Road all the way down and around the Hale to about Forest Home. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Little transportation news for you. Governor Tony Evers' budget proposal. He wants to raise what it costs if you buy a car to get your vehicle title transferred 70%. He wants it to go from $165 to $285.
What?
This is only when you buy a car, and it's usually rolled into the cost, so you don't even notice, but you're going to be paying a lot more if you buy your car. Here's the other one. title registration fees, the driver's license renewal. Okay, that's when
Right.
you get the new sticker for your car every year. He wants to raise that 35%.
Come on.
Now, the numbers go from $24, that's what we pay now, to $32.50. That's more than 35%. To be fair, this will still be much lower than our neighboring states.
Oh, Illinois is over the top.
So let's
Don't
go back
even
to that
compare.
first title registration fee. Remember, I just said that will go up to $285. In Illinois, that's like $900.
Jesus.
In Michigan, it's $600. So we're still going to be way below. But Republicans are going to say it doesn't matter what the neighboring states are. We need to keep our own house in check, and so they won't go along for it, and it's pretty much dead on arrival. The governor says we need the money to take care of our roads.
What do you think about it?
I think no. Here, you know what I think about it? We have a $4 billion surplus. We have a $4 billion pot of cash sitting in the bank right now that we can't decide in Madison what to do with. If you need more money for transportation, how about we use some of that? $4 billion.
I hope we're putting that for the time being into some type of like account where we can
Earning money. Yeah. I hope so too. All right. Still on the transportation topic. Harley Davidson, and our producer Brandon is a Harley owner. He just got a new Harley. As a matter of fact, text the word text the word watch, right? WATCH, and you can see a picture of Brandon's new Harley.
Oh.
This is stunning. It's a beautiful bike. Brandon, can you tell us what that cost, or is your wife listening and you don't want to give that information out on the radio?
No. Per our conversation from a couple months ago, we don't share money, so I know that caught you a little bit by surprise. So I did not tell her exactly how much it cost, so if she's listening, I do love you, honey. But that was, I had my old bike. I traded it in. It had no miles on it. It was fresh off the crate from Harley. 2025 Road Glide. This out the door was $34,000.
Whoa. That's a lot of money. Now, it's less than a car, but you can't drive this thing the whole year.
Less than a car?
Yeah, correct. It's more than some car, but yeah.
I think it's just about as much as my car.
Yeah, it's up there.
You have a nice car. You couldn't get the car you're driving right now. You could not get for $35,000.
Yeah, now it probably went up a lot.
I did not believe that.
Probably.
I
You have
swear.
a nice car.
I swear.
Yeah, but how many years ago did you buy it?
Last year.
Okay, I bet you. Don't you think?
Oh wait, no, the year before. It's
You
a
have a nice
24,
car.
but I got it in 23.
All right, Brandon. So what do you think of this? Harley Davidson this year unveiled. So Denise, the wife, settled down a little bit because at least Brandon didn't do this. Harley rolled out a motorcycle, I think it was last week maybe, that goes for $110,000. A motorcycle for $110,000. That seems to me
This better go
outrageous. That's so much money.
Did you see who was test riding it?
No.
At Daytona? Keanu Reeves, the actor.
Ooh.
Sick.
He's a big Harley guy, and he was on it. And the thing is, if I had the money, absolutely would do it. I know those payments would be a lot different than the one that I currently have. But that thing is one of the coolest bikes I think I've ever seen. That a manufacturer has rolled out for consumer purchase, like not a custom bike or anything,
Right.
but just a off-the-shelf stock bike. You know, that's obviously not stock to Harley, but whew, man, that thing is pretty sweet.
131. They're just making 131 of them. So it's limited, but
Yeah.
you're right. You can order one and you can get one. That's a lot of money. Okay. So this comes now a few days after that. They announced that they're lowering the price on their already cheapest motorcycle. So the cheapest bike that they sell is called the Nightster. Nightster.
Correct, yep.
You can buy it in Billiard Gray starting at $9,999.
Oh,
So that's under $10,000. That's $1,200 less than last year.
that's palatable.
Yeah, it's definitely more manageable. But that to me also still seems like a lot.
Really?
I mean, you can't even ride this thing when it's raining, snowing, or
That's
during
my
the winter.
problem. That's my problem.
And the Nightster, Brandon, looks like it's a one-person bike.
It definitely is. You could have two on there. I'll say this, having ridden that bike before, it's probably one of the more fun bikes to ride. It's really fun.
It looks fun. Look
Especially
at this,
if you live like downtown or if you're commuting, through downtown, like getting in and out of traffic.
Oh
It's
my
a lot
gosh,
of fun.
That's way better looking.
It's cool. It looks like fun.
It's pretty cool.
I'm
Yeah.
showing Julie
That's
the
only
Nightster.
10,000.
And it's a lighter bike, so you're not, it can kind of fit a lot of different consumers. So they're who they're trying to reach, Harley, that is. I think that's a really good starting point for a lot of people.
That's a good point because that's what they say. They say they're trying to expand their fan base, trying to get people to enter into the Harley market, make it more palatable. How often does Denise ride with you? Your wife's beautiful. I bet she looks great on the back of a bike.
She does. I try getting her on all the time. It's quite a bit in the summer. We go to the festivals. Harley has their homecoming. We go to the concerts. We go out to dinner sometimes on a Friday or Saturday evening.
That's fun. And you hop on the bike?
And we go on the bike, leave the kids at home. But the thing is that we have, as you guys know, we have 5 kids. So every single one of the kids loves to get on the bike. So it's trying to delegate who's riding when. Usually it turns into a fight, and then it turns into, all right, I'm going by myself.
You got to get that little side carriage thing.
Oh, yeah.
I want one of those for my dogs. Yeah, a little sidecar. Yeah, with the goggles on the our golden retriever. I think she would
on
get
both
a kick
sides,
out of it.
and you can do two kids.
The double sidecar.
Yeah.
Then you could have one on the back, so 4 of you could go for a ride.
Quick story, and before we get to the top of the hour, I took the bike that I just bought that you're seeing on the YouTube stream Saturday. I made the mistake. I don't remember if you know how windy it was.
Yeah.
Over the home bridge, because I was at the museum and I was going south because I live in Oak Creek, Caledonia area. I wasn't sure if I was going to make it. It was the windiest ride I've ever had. It was pretty scary. So
that
I'm
was a wind advisory day.
Glad to be here talking through the microphone and showing you the bike, but we almost didn't make it.
That'd be terrible if you had to lay down that brand new bike on the top of the horn.
And I just got it Saturday. I left the dealership with it Saturday.
Wow. So what do you owe Denise in exchange for her letting you buy this bike?
Unconditional love and folding laundry, doing laundry.
Okay, that's good.
The dishes.
You got 5 kids.
Look at those
you're
beauty
busy
shots
all the time.
he took. He loves this bike.
I do love it.
Text the word watch.
Her nickname is Pearl because the paint is, you can't see it in the picture. It's not really, it doesn't show, but it sparkles. It has like gold flakes in the paint, so it sparkles in the sun.
I would call her Sparkles then.
Oh.
It's a little weird.
That sounds like a clown. It's like a clown name. Have you ever been on a Harley?
No. Mm-mm.
I have only once, and it made me nervous because I've never been a motorcycle guy, but it was cool. It was pretty cool.
I've never been on any motorcycle before.
Yeah. But you would go into space.
Yes. I trust space more than riding a motorcycle in Milwaukee.
I mean, that's a good point. There are some bad drivers
or anywhere
out there.
for that matter, yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio